Aquí va. The 15th of June to be remembered in the history books of Sibanor United and Gambinos, South Africa. It is a chilly Sunday afternoon at the Theatre of Entertainment, Boxbar Mini Stadium to be precise. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final before a final. It is the semi-final in the West Coast Region 3rd Division between Sibanor United and Gambinos, South Africa. The two met 2 years ago and it was a 2-all draw. And here we are. Well, yesterday, Kungujam fans defeated Misra via the lottery. They are into the final, waiting on the decider today in this mouth-watering semi-final. The team in blue is Sibanor United under the guidance of Ibrahima Kamara, who left the stage at the Fonyi zonal team a few months ago. And Gambinos, Stars Africa are also part of the mission on their route to the dreamland. A winner of today's fixture will, of course, play the final against Kungujam fans. A date yet to be fixed. You're watching on LSTV1 and I am Salih Ujalo. Parliament Fati and Kemo Kanyi is part of the Commentator X, and Parliament Fati, the usual voice, will take us through a return of Francis Gomez in Sibanor United. He's here on a short mission, they will tell you. Francis is here on a short mission, and the mission is to guide Sibanor United into the dreamland. But Gambinos, Stars Africa are also here to sell their mantra, their academy basics. Well, team from Mandinaring against a team from Fonyi Bintang Kranai. It is Sibanor United and Gambinos, Stars Africa. Modulamin is the center referee today. Ibrahim and Musa are the two assistant referees, and Aliu will be the 4th official today. That is the Tolanki Aliu Kamara from Banyaka. Wow, just wow. Well, it is a handful of a turnout, but as I mentioned in the introductory part, it is a sunny Sunday afternoon here at the Boxbar Mini Stadium. Others might left and late to be married to the Boxbar Mini Stadium. But then this is a moment of a decider. Sibanor came close last year, but they lost it in the hands of Palusar, who are currently in the 2nd division after their prayers reach heaven via an appeal against young Africans. But Ibrahima was always, or has always been, optimistic about their journey. It is a mission for him to complete today after leaving the stage as the head coach of Fonyi zonal team. Abdullah Tamba was part of the players in the Fonyi zonal team. That is, of course, Francis, who adorned the number 10 jersey for Sibanor, and Isaac Mendy on goal, who was also part of the winners in the West Coast Region 4th edition zonal competition. Just a reminder, this is the male 3rd division. Just wow. But then you have Gambinos, South Africa, who are also rich in experience. Well, they met 2 years ago.
Yes, as Sally was saying before he left, I mean, you are currently witnessing the show between Sibanor United and Gambino Stars Africa. These two will be playing in today's semi-final of the West Coast third division. Remember, our first semi-final fixture was played yesterday in a game between Misira United and Kunkujang Friends. That entire game ended in a goalless scoreline, and then it has to be pushed to be settled in a post-match shootout, where Kunkujang Friends emerged victorious in that particular contest. So a winner from this particular game today between Sibanor United and Gambino Stars Africa will play the third division final for West Coast against the Kunkujang Friends sides. Now we will hand the mic to Parfati, who will be taking us through the ball-to-ball commentary in this particular contest.
Thank you very much, Kemo Kanye, and earlier on Saliu Jallo. Hello, good afternoon, wherever you might be getting our voices and signals. Of course, welcome back to the Box Bar Mini Stadium. Of course, the Box Bar Mini Stadium, the ground that we always love to come. And of course, it's Box Bar Mini Stadium hosting the crucial and of course, the lively contest between Sibanor United and Gambinos. And it is of course the West Coast Region 3rd Division semi-final. And it is the semi-final class between Sibanor and Gambinos. And the ground is set for this huge class. Sibanor United dressed in their colorful blue shirts, black shorts and blue socks, playing from our left to right, and the team is under the guidance of head coach Ibrahim Kamara, having the assistance of Omar Baji. And on the other dugout for Gambinos is Yankuba Diba, and Yankuba is ably and reliably assisted by Arnold Otas as his immediate assistant. The ground is set, and it is set for this huge class. Sibanor United starting in goal with Isaac Mendy, Sana Nyase, Landing Jaju, Omar Nyase, Modu Sedi, Osman Kamara, Sankung Baje, Modlamin Jaju, Abdullah Tamba, Bakari Kujabi, and Francis Gomez, of course, of Hosens, completes the 11. And of course, Francis is currently leading the line for Sibanor United, and Gambinos is starting with Buba Samba in goal, Omar Bojang, Cherno Bari, Usman Sanyang, GB Conte, Keba Kamara, Abubakar Silla, Musa Njai, Aliu Sonko, Ansumana Samura, and Mohamed Krubali, of course, completing the 11 for Gambinos Football Club. And Gambinos and Sibanor are also in their respective second outings as far as the semi-final is concerned. Of course, Sibanor United in the last semi-final defeated East Horn after 2-2 in regulation before advancing on post-match shootout to book a final against Balosar Football Club, where Balosar defeated Sibanor United on post-match shootout after a trailing 3-3 scoreline around the area. Gambinos trying to clear their line this time. It's a decent delivery coming from Sibanor United, Sankung Osunkaru Bache, and Sunkaru's effort never troubled the goalkeeper as his effort sailed off target for a goal kick to Buba Samba and his Gambinos side. It has been a lively and a bright start coming from both ends, Gambinos Football Club and Sibanor. Of course, it is a clash between the winners of Group B and runners-up of Group B. Gambinos up against Sibanor United, and yesterday at the Box Bar Mini Stadium, that was going to be a defensive blunder. Unfortunately, Gambinos survived and the goalkeeper was just there in time. But before that, the flag of the assistant referee is already up and up for a corner, and that was definitely a bright start for Sibanor United. Saliu Jallo.
Absolutely, hearing from their governor Ibrahim Kamara, it's like let us not allow them to start from the back, and they have already pinned Gambinos, and they have benefited a set piece that will be taken by one of the most experienced players of Sibanor, if not the only experienced player, that is Francis Gomez with an in-swinger.
That is a decent cross coming from Francis Gomez, partly headed out. It's going to be an opportunity for Francis once again. Francis Rasul, never given by the central referee. And the referee is, of course, Modlamin Kejata, having the assistance of Musa Baji. Buba Sise, Aliu Kamara is the fourth assistant referee, and Hamadi Janko is serving as the fourth assistant referee. From the Box Bar Mini Stadium in Brikama, and it is, of course, live on LSTV at the commentary cabin, Lamin Fati, Saliu Jallo, Kemo Kanye, Lamin Mane, and the rest of the team. Gambinos now trying to use the left side of the defense and trying to penetrate. That's a decent cross headed out by the central defender, of course, for Sibanor United. And Omar Jaju just there in time to head that ball out for a corner. And it's a corner for the boys in green colors. Gambinos dressed in green shorts and green socks, now playing from our right to left from our commentary cabin. While Sibanor United dressed in blue shorts, black shorts and blue socks, playing from our left to right. And the head coach for Sibanor is Ibrahim Kamara, whilst Yankuba Diba and Arnold Otas are the coaches. This time a decent header, partly cleared. Francis Gomez will use the right side to penetrate. for our lost possession. Gambinos trying to unlock the defense. The flag of the assistant referee is up against Aliou Sonko, and Aliou Sonko is penalized, being penalized by the flag of the assistant referee. Lively contest, great display of talent, Kemo Kanye. I think we will definitely enjoy this moment at the Box Bar Mini Stadium between Sibanor and Gambinos.
Yes, already just into the 5 minutes of this particular game, you can see the beautiful play from both sides. The showcase of talent that we have already seen here tells you that yes, of course, this is going to be a very good game, and also the game that fans will love to watch, because you can also already see from the noise at the background that yes, they have started enjoying this particular game. This is just 5 minutes on the table, and sorry, on the about the timing. So here, let's see. Where this particular first hour will end before it ends here, because we have about 40 minutes that will be played here. So let's see. It is going to be a highly entertaining game, I'm sure, because the display of talents into this very first half here tells you a lot about this game.
There we go. It has been a lively contest and a bright start between Sibanor and Gambinos. A decent delivery coming from Francis Gomez, caught out by Gambinos Football Club. Not a decent one. Sibanor regained possession, back to Francis Gomez. Francis now, dribble pass one, looking for options. Trying to unlock the defense, spreads that ball wide around the area. It's going to be an opportunity, Gambinos, and of course the player Russell. And the player in question, of course, is the number 10 Ansumana Samure of Gambinos Football Club, or Gambinos Football Club. And Ansumana Samure is currently serving as the leading goal scorer for Gambinos, and he has already scored 7 goals this season. And next to him is Aliou Sonko with 6 goals, and Mohamed Krubali on third and the leading goal scorer chart for Gambinos Football Club. Francis Gomez is leading the chart for Sibanor United, and second is Bakari Kujabi, the goalkeeper, just there in time but really missed that opportunity. And it's going to be an opportunity on the far side for Sibanor United to benefit from a throw-in. Of course, people have started piling in at the Box Bar Mini Stadium. We believe this is definitely an improved turnout compared to the turnout that was here yesterday.
Absolutely. We did mention about this fixture. It is more of like a final before a final. You look at the ingredients in these two sides, that is Sibanor and Gambinos. Well, the only message that they want to see is seeing themselves in the final. That is the only possibility that they can get in this game. But then it is an end-to-end stuff, experience game to be precise. But then the winner take it all, and you are Kunkujan friends are in waiting for the winner of this fixture. But then the turnout will surely be big, because we expect a beautiful game to be played here at the Box Bar Mini Stadium at a very level playing ground.
Thank you very much, Saliu Jalo. Earlier on, Kemo Kanye, and the winner between Gambinos and Sibanor will advance to the final, and will play in the final against Kunkujang Friends, who defeated Mishra United yesterday at the Box Bar Mini Stadium on a smash shootout. But already it is 0-0, and it is currently 0-0 at the Box Bar between Sibanor and Gambinos, and the winner will advance to the final. It is currently nothing separating the two. Gambinos heads that ball down. They're trying to keep that ball in play as the ball rolls out for a throw in to Sibanor United, and it has been a busy technical area for both gaffers. We have seen head coach Ibrahim Kamara on the dugout, and also Yankuba Diba is also very much busy on the technical area for Gambinos Star, or Gambinos Football Club. And it's going to be an opportunity. Gambinos will now have the opportunity to benefit from a throw in. Omar Bojang will deliver. It's a long one, caught out by the central defender, of course, Omar Nyasi. Omar with a timely interception for Sibanor. It's a throw in once again. Omar Bojang once again. Nyasi Omar once again heads that ball out for Sibanor United. Lively contest, great battle between Gambinos and Sibanor, as the winner will advance to the final. It is a clash between second place and fourth place. Sibanor won Group B, whilst Gambinos runners up in Group A. Gambinos take that quickly, trying to possess that ball so well. Francis Gomez trying to unlock the defense, lost possession. Gambinos regain possession quickly, switches the play on the right hand side, and this time around the flag is up once again against Gambinos, and the forward number 7 is being penalized once again by the flag of the assistant referee.
They need to be very careful with him. That is the number 7, and it's like Gambinos are trying to use him on their route to goal, which will be very much dangerous, or which will be very dangerous for Sibanor United. They need to be very much careful with that. But that was a very good touch by Francis Gomez.
Of course, that was Mohamed Krubali. Francis Gomez once again. He has been the most impressive player right from the beginning. Francis switches the play from the right to the left, and it is to Saidi, who is currently being deployed on the left side of the defense, trying to connect Tamba on the left side of the attack for Sibanor United, but the ball is too strong for Tamba to keep, and it rolls on the other end for a throw into Gambinos Football Club, and Gambinos is dressed in green shorts and green socks, while Sibanor United in blue shorts, black shorts and blue socks. Gambinos up against Sibanor in the second semi-final of this year's West Coast Region 3rd Division. Who is going to advance? Who is advancing to the final? And who is going to play Kunkujang Friends in the final remains to be seen. And solely it's going to be either Sibanor or Gambinos to advance, of course, advance to the final of this year's West Coast Region 3rd Division. And it is going to be a final between Kunkujang Friends or either Gambinos or Sibanor United. It's a throw-in on the far side. Sibanor will benefit. Sibanor United, Modu Sedi. Modu takes that quickly to Abdullah Tamba. Tamba trying to twist and turn, trying to have his way out. You could hear the cheers coming from the supporters. A strong header from Francis Gomez into the gloves of the custodian Buba Samba. The custodian was just there in time to gather that ball comfortably, and that was indeed a great header. Kemo Kanye, that was beautifully executed, coming from Abdullah Tamba to Francis Gomez, and Francis rose the highest, not home the ball, but unfortunately never troubled the custodian Buba Samba in goal for Gambinos Football Club.
Yes, Abdullah and Francis are the two very dangerous players that this Sibanor United team can rely on to get themselves a very, very good result into this particular game, because these are very good players. They have the talent and also have the zeal to play for their side. So let's see what happens here, Pa.
That is Francis Gomez around the edge of the penalty area, trying to dribble past one, looking for more. Francis greatly executed, and you could hear the cheers and claps coming from the supporters of Sibanor United.
Early on, it was a free header by Francis Gomez, but he will tell you the ball was too powerful for him to control with his chest. But then that was the first shot on target. But then the second one was a counter attack. Very good work there by the number 19. He connected us with, of course, Francis again. Francis was going for a coil, a replica of that of Lamine Yamal's way, but then it proved futile. I believe it is an end-to-end football now, Parfat. We're loving this game.
We are definitely loving this game. Back to you, Kemo.
Yes, very well. As I was saying, these are two very good players that Sibanor can rely on, Francis and Abdullah. And then since the start of the game, they have been proving themselves very well, and then have been proving themselves to be one of the key players into this particular contest. And already we have seen the talent from them, and also the willingness for them to qualify Sibanor to the second division. So let's see what happens here. Gambinos has been a very, very good team since the start as well. But Sibanor currently, I mean, they are the team that is doing more of the dangerous attacking footballs here, and then it's a team that also have more shots on target into this particular game in the first 12 minutes that we have already played here, Pa.
Thank you very much, Kemo Kanye. Earlier on, Salih Ujalo, and in case you're just joining us, you're reminded that this is all coming to you live from the Box Bar Mini Stadium in Brikama. And of course, it is the West Coast Region 3rd Division semi-final, and the fixture is Sibanor United against Gambinos. Of course, it is the second semi-final after the first between Kunkujang Friends and Misira, where Kunkujang Friends advanced on post-match shootout after a thrilling 0-0 scoreline yesterday. And of course, this afternoon from the theatre, it is Sibanor 0, Gambinos 0 in the second semi-final. After seeing the first 12 or 13 minutes into this contest, Sibanor United 0, Gambinos 0. Who is going to advance? Who is going to advance? Is it going to be Sibanor or Gambinos? Remains to be seen. And the custodian was just there in time to guard that ball off the area for Gambinos Football Club. And it's Gambinos now who will have the opportunity to deliver this ball from a goal kick. The custodian for Gambinos is Buba Samba, and in the opposite goal post is Isaac Mendes. Sibanor United, that's a defensive blunder. This time around, is that going to be a foul? Already given by the central referee, who is definitely very close to the scene, Monlamin Kejata. And that was definitely a great run coming from Sibanor United's. Of course, Sunkaru Baji, and Sunkaru failed to capitalize as his effort was blocked in there by the central defender. Of course, the player in question is Abdullah Tamba. Abdullah Tamba had the glorious opportunity, but unfortunately wasted.
Yeah, because the control was too much for him, and looking at his height, he could not stretch further, and he became the culprit in that incident. But then it's a wake-up call for the shot stopper of Gambinos. He needs to be very careful.
It's of course a wake-up call for Gambino star, as the custodian needs to be very much careful. Francis Gomez having it tough against the central defender Usman Sanyang, who heads that ball back to the custodian. Sanyang Usman for Gambinos. playing that ball short. This time the central defender, of course, Omar Nyase. Omar trying to keep that ball in play, lost it in the process. It has been a lively and a great contest from the Box Bar Mini Stadium in Brikama in the second semi-final of the West Coast Region 3rd Division. Gambinos up against Sibanor. Great possessive display coming from Gambinos. Trying to switch the play on the far side. Gambinos! Coming from Ansumana Samura. And Ansumana, of course, wasting that glorious opportunity. You could see the style of play. From the center to the left to the right, the switch of play from Gambinos is definitely very fast, Saliu.
Yes, and it starts with Umar Bojang, their number 3, who of course have that eagle pass, and then to the other player, that is the number 11, and he switch play to the number 10, that is of course Ansumana. The closer they came, this is one of their best counters in this game in the first 15 minutes.
Of course, the first and of course the biggest chance created by Gambinos. Of course, it is the biggest chance being created by Gambino since the commencement of this fixture. And of course, it was a great one, but squandered in by Ansumana Samura. And it is currently stuck Gambinos nil, Sibanor United nil. Who is going to advance and who is going to crash out remains to be seen. Gambinos nil, Sibanor nil. Gambinos in their own half. Well, start the play from the central defense, around the center circle. Great possessive display. Lost it this time, Sibanor United will break. Trying to connect. Get run of Francis Gomez. Francis lost possession. Gambinos regained possession. Trying to switch the play. Back to the central defenders of Sibanor United, Omar Nyase. Omar currently having it tough against the central defender on number 7, or the offensive player on number 7 for Gambinos. Gambinos around the edge, trying to dribble past a group of players, getting that ball low, still around the area. Sibanor United on a defensive work. Lively contest from the Box Bar Mini Stadium, and of course, we are definitely loving this clash. We are definitely loving this fixture between Gambinos and Sibanor, and Gambinos once again trying to cause some problems for Sibanor United, and the goalkeeper dives and into his gloves. And the custodian just there in time, Isaac Mendy, to guard that ball comfortably.
I believe the number 3, that is for Sibanor, could have just sent the ball away, but he opted to pass his near player with futile for him, and you know they were caught wanting, and it was almost another dangerous opportunity for Gambinos. I believe they need to be very much careful, especially the defense line. It's an entrance stuff. We are loving this party, but then it's a nervy moment. Anyone that is watching from distance, because any mistake you might be found wanting, and it's like you have to go back to the drawing board again to start from level 1 again.
Anyway, this is all coming to you live, and is of course live from the Box Bar Mini Stadium. And in case you're just joining us, it's also coming to you live on LSTV. On the commentary cabin is Parlamin Fati, Saliu Jalo, Kemo Kanyi, Lamin Mane and Co. And behind camera operations is Osman Kamara. And it is currently Sibanor nil, Gambinos nil. And in this contest, Sibanor United is still starting with Isaac Mendy in goal, Sana Nyasi, Landing Jaju, Omar Nyasi, Modu Sedi, Usman Kamara, Sunkaru Baji, Mod Lamin Jaju, Abdullah Tamba, Bakari Kujabi, and Francis Gomez, of course, of Hosens FC, who is currently playing for Sibanor United this afternoon in the second semi-final of the West Coast Region 3rd Division. And Gambinos is starting with Buba Samba in goal, Omar Bojang, Cherno Bari, Usman Sanyang, Jibi Conte, Keba Kamara, Abubakar Sila, Musa Njai, Aliu Sonko, and Sumana Samura, and Mohamed Krubali, completing the 11 for Gambinos Football Club. And Gambinos is currently under the guidance of Yankuba Diba as head coach, and Yankuba is having the assistance of Arnold Otas as his immediate assistant. Ibrahim Kamara is the head coach for Sibanor United, and Omar Baji is his assistant. We will surely get you the rundown on the fixtures of both Sibanor United and Gambinos, but before that, we're going to deliver this set piece, decently executed, partly headed by Sibanor United. Around the area, Sibanor clears that ball desperately, coming from landing the central defender. It has been a lively contest, a great possessive display between Sibanor and Gambinos. Sibanor lost possession. Gambinos around the edge into the gloves of the custodian once again. Sibanor definitely needs to be very much careful here.
Yeah, for the second time, the number 3 is making that mistake. That is Sananyasi. He needs to be very careful. The 2 strikers were already there waiting for him. He could have just sent the ball up, but then he opted the other way.
He could have given that. Francis Gomez trying to control that ball, lost it, and the goalkeeper just there in time. And the goalkeeper just there in time to clear that ball for Gambinos Football Club and the number 7. That was indeed mal-controlled by the 7 for Gambinos star. Of course, Gambinos is Mohamed Krubali and Ansumana Samurais, of course, the leading goal scorer for Gambinos, who has already scored 7 goals, and Ablai Sonko has already scored 6. Whilst Francis is on the leading goal scorer chart for Sibanor United, already bagging 5 goals, and next to him is Bakari Kujabi, who has already scored 3. It has been an improved turnout at the Box Bar Mini Stadium. Looking at the turnout today, probably comparing it to tomorrow, we could say today's turnout is by far better than the turnout that was here yesterday in the Sibanor Gambino semi-final. Compared it to the Kunkujang Friends and Misira semi-final. Francis Gomez floats that ball, landing, trying to head that ball, lost it. That was another opportunity for Sibanor United. Beautifully executed from Francis Gomez, but unfortunately landing failed to capitalize.
That was a brilliant set piece from Francis, but the header was very poor.
It is Gambinos once again on the right side. Tricky and pacey player switches the play, and the advancing player never had the touch. I think Kemo Kanye, we are definitely seeing an impressive game between Sibanor United and Gambinos. Gambinos once again around the edge. Another strong header coming from Sibanor United. Lively contest with a lot of possessive and also chances being created by Sibanor United and also Gambinos Football Club.
Yes, we are currently witnessing very good chances here being created by both sides. At least we could have witnessed a goal into this particular game already in the first 20 minutes that we have played in. But nonetheless, we are going to see goals here before this particular game. And unlike the game that we have witnessed here yesterday, I mean, limited goal scoring opportunities were created compared to this one. Though Misira had so many goal scoring opportunities, but failed to capitalize on any of those ones. So here as well, you can always see Francis, whenever he is on the ball for Sibanor United, he does the needful for them. He will always do what Sibanor United would want him. If he cannot go, and then he will try to create or try to make it so that he create foul for his side, and then he's been doing very well for them. He's one of the threats for this Gambino side here into this particular game, and then also with Abdullah. So these are the two very highly performing players for that of the Sibanor United side here today.
Thank you very much, Kemo Kanyi, and earlier on Saliu Jalo. In case you just joining us, you are reminded that we still coming to you live from the Box Bar Mini Stadium in Brikama.
It is a set piece for Sibanor, free kick just at the edge of the 18-yard box. Well, the
You cannot cover the match. Okay, no problem. No. Go. My brother. No, you cannot. Please, go down. No, you cannot cover the match. Okay. No, please. He's not going to cover the match. I will cover you. Who you are? Who are you? Who tell you? Who are you? I'll cover the game. You cannot cover the game. I will cover you. You cannot cover the game. Ngaji ita mandelo imalo wala ni ngaji ya funya wulo anuni billahi wallahi taala billahi wala imam wulo imam fenno imam fenno ye de ko billahi wala imam fenno tala ndala ni ma ko banga fa dek ma ko ba ko tala jumaati ikalo kamera nyaar ba dan kula ba for the morning na ako third division of water bond la life e konta bond da ko bala ka de ifo amoma ki ana da fon le eta fo mankara karambaro le kanyinke mo ma educate wala kanyinke ni mankara ini treto le kanyimanya e mina mo tara ko bre nyala ke bulo camera nya na manka loi di mbeku kele la biya e be jahal you can you devi man ke fati wai
Gambinos on the far side of the pitch. Quickly taken. Gambinos in control. A good defensive work there by the number 11 from distance, or the 16 rather, Amal Chacho. Here comes Abdullah Tamba to the number 17, Usman Kamara. Back to his central defender, the team captain, looking for Francis Gomez. He gets him. Good control there by Francis Gomez. Looking for who? To no avail, and it's to the shortstopper of Gambinos. And this is their number 17, Chernobari. Chernobari back to the shortstopper in Buba Shamba. To the number 16, sends a long one inside the half of Sibanor. A good defense work there by Landing Chachu for Sibanor. On the far side is the team captain as well. It's a throw in for Barry. Quickly taken. Time to recycle with his defense line. To his number 13 now. Usman. Back to the shortstopper. Buba. To the team captain. He gets his number 15. Here comes the number 3, Omar Bojang. Looking for his number 7. From distance he gets him, Mohamed Krubali. Cross comes in inside the penalty box. Team captain is there and he stood firm. Sibanor in control now with Francis Gomez. Francis to his number 16 now. Counter. That is ML Chajo. Cross comes in, who is there? A good control there by the number 16. Here comes the number 8. Strikes! Been blocked there. A very good defensive work there by Gambinos, and they win the foul in their own half. Just around the area. A tussle there. It's a free kick given to Gambinos in their own half. A stone throw around the area. Team captain behind the ball. Shot block there. Here comes Abdullah Tamba. The control once again is too much for Abdullah Tamba to push the ball at the back of the net. Gambinos beat first again. A relief Gambinos represent. But here they come again. The team in green. Gambinos looking for their number 7. Mohamed Krubali. Offside. Quickly taken. And center referee Amel Jata asks the ball to be retaken. And they did so, the number 3. It's a foul. Number 16, the beneficiary. ML Jaju for Sibanor. The number 13, Umar Nyasi to Francis Gomez. Brought to the ground again. He is the most foul player for Sibanor United. He had on the number 10 jersey. Once again, you are watching this semi-final of the West Coast Melta Division via LSTV1, and our reliable camera operator Usman Kamara is the one behind the camera. Not a good pass there by the team captain, the tall lanky number 5 for Sibanor, that is Landin Chachu. But it's a very good interception there by Sibanor. Throw in, quickly taken by the number 3, Umar Bojang for Gambinos. Sends a long one. Umar Nyasi clears it out, looking for his number 19, Bakari. Good control there by Bakari. He lost possession, but he regained the number 16. What a block by Barry there. Chernobari, the number 17 for Gambinos, to his team captain. Cherno. And it's Umar Nyasi on a defensive mission. He gets Francis from an offside position. Francis Gomez coming from an offside position. It's a free kick for Gambinos in their own half. 29 minutes played. Still goalless here at the Brikama Box Family Stadium. And here comes Mohamed Krubali to benefit, but then a very good defensive work there by Sana Nyasi, the number 3. A poor one from Sana Nyasi again. He needs to be very careful. Those passes might found you one thing. And here comes the number 19, Bakari Kuchabi, the striker for Sibanor. A good fight there by Bakari around the center circle now. Looking for his energetic number 11 from distance. Modu Saidi, surging ahead. But Gambinos is there on a defensive mission. It's one end to the other. More of basketball here at the Box Family Stadium. And it's Gambinos now on a counter. A good fight there, but he benefits a foul inside the half of Sibanor, the team in blue. They have been asking questions over and over. But most of the chances was given to Abdullah Tamba and it proved futile. His control is always the opposite. Well, it's a free kick for Team Gambinos. The team captain is the one to take it. The number 13 sends a long one inside the 18-yard box. Ball bounce. And the number 3, Sana Nyasi, to Francis Gomez for Sibanor. Francis again. Good clearance there. Well done, says Ibrahim Kamara, team captain. The team coach rather. Excuse me. Modu Saidi to Abdullah Tamba on the far side. Tamba, Dili Dali Bari. He lost possession. Bari, the energetic Bari for Gambinos there. Back to the stopper in Buba Samba. Hold on, says the center referee. Well, the communication device for ML isn't working. It had a problem and they need to fix it. Just a reminder, it is still goalless. We played half an hour in this contest. It is a final before a final. Sibanor against the Gambino Stars Africa. The tussle, the fight has been on the two flanks. And just a glimpse around the center circle. And we're going for a cooling break here at the Box Family Stadium.
Sally, we have to talk about this. I think one thing that we want to put across here is, I think I was off the commentary cabin just to sort few things out. I just want people to understand that LSTV1, we aren't brought here by ourselves. And we were communicated by Sibanor United to be here to come and feature this game. Unfortunately, what really happened here not long ago is definitely disgraceful. Looking at the Box Family Stadium, we had a lot of people that are currently watching this game. But we believe the West Coast region, football organizing committee or whatsoever, feels that LSTV is a threat to their income. Because we were not brought here by the committee, we were brought here by Sibanor United to come and feature this game. But forcefully, somebody just came out of the blue. Amadou Demba, I believe. Amadou came out of the blue, climbed on top, asking our camera guy to come down forcefully. This is disrespectful. I believe this is total disrespectful, and then we definitely going to take this up with the organizing committee, because we were not here by our own. We were brought here by Sibanor United, not even the committee, because for West Coast, they believe LSTV1 is a threat to their income. But, you know, they also need to understand we have a lot of people that are outside watching.
Well, the spectators on LSTV1 are very much mad about this gentleman. He's no more a gentleman, I might call it, because you cannot undermine the growth of community football or grassroots football. You know, covering this, there are thousands of followers out there. They want to watch this. They cannot be at the Box Family Stadium. So who are you to stop this kind of a coverage? That is just a replica. It is a clear definition of an enemy of progress when it comes to grassroots development in this country.
Thank you very much, Kemo. I think this is definitely disrespectful. Anyway,
that's very well. He acted very silly, and then also, I mean, very unprofessional. You cannot act like that. I mean, you are not the only official here. In fact, prior communications were done before this particular game was aired live. And then why can you come from nowhere and then trying to making sure that you enforce or whatever silly decision that you want to undertake in regards to this particular game? It was very disappointing. And then those that are also watching feels very, very disappointed with this particular decision that was, taken by Amadou Demba, and then he has other committee members that are here. I mean, why should he climb on top and then try to make sure that he blocks the view of this particular camera viewing for this particular game? I mean, as you have earlier said, LSTV hasn't brought itself here. And then, in fact, he sillily, tried to hit the camera. And then, if you destroy this particular gadget, he cannot pay for this. We know how this particular camera costs, and also the other gadgets that we are using to stream this particular every other game live. So, he acted very silly. That is the bottom line for every other thing. And then he acted also very professionally and also very stupidly in the end.
Thank you very much, K. Mokanyi, earlier on Saliu Jallo, and we will surely come back to that. But now, total focus on the live broadcast of this contest between Sibanor United and Gambinos. And it is still Sibanor nil, Gambinos nil at the Box Bar Mini Stadium in Brikama in the West Coast Region 3rd Division semi-final, and into the gloves of the custodian, Buba Samba. Of course, is the goalkeeper for Gambinos, and in the opposite goal post is Isaac Mendy in goal for Sibanor United. It is Sibanor nil, Gambinos nil. Landing Jaju with a decent clearance to the half of Gambino. Cherno Barry on the far side. Chorno dropping that ball short. Gambino starting the play from their own half. Back to the custodian, Buba Samba. Buba, the tall and lanky, dressed in his red colors, playing that ball short to the central defender, Usman Sanyang, and Usman trying to saw it forward, spreads that ball forward to the number 3 and left wing back, and player wrestled, and this time around rewarded by the central referee, of course, Modlamin Kejata, and Modlamin Kejata, the central referee, is having the assistance of Musa Baji. Buba Sise, Aliu Kamara is the 4th assistant referee, and Hamadi Janko is serving as the match commissioner of this crucial and lively game between Gambinos and Sibanor United. Beautifully executed. On the far side, Mohamed Krubali Mohamed trying to dribble past a group of players, still trying to go solo. Krubali Mohamed for Gambinos Football Club around the edge of the 18, beautifully headed down. Gambinos now caught out by Sibanor United. Sibanor trying to play that ball in their own half, beautifully executed, trying to connect the run of Francis Gomez. Francis, and this time around Francis is being penalized. And Francis not the less happy after not getting that ball. It's going to be another start for Gambinos in their own half, the holding midfielder. Of course, the holding midfielder, Musa Njai, getting that ball for Sibanor or Gambinos. Sibanor once again. Beautifully, and a lively contest from the Box Bar Mini Stadium in Brikama in the West Coast Region 3rd Division. Of course, it is the second semi-final of the West Coast 3rd Division. The flag of the assistant referee stayed down. Ball being tested down by Aliu Sonko. Aliu trying to get that ball around the center circle. Ball being spread forward coming from Cherno Barry. Cherno to the center forward, who chases up front Mohamed Krubali. Mohamed Krubali once again. Krubali Mohamed playing that ball short to Barry. Barry once again floats that ball. Solid defensive work coming from the central defender, Landing Jaju. And Landing is being rewarded by the central referee. Still down injured. And Landing will now have the opportunity to be supported by the custodian, Isaac Mendy. And in case you're just joining us, this is all coming to you, of course, live from the Box Bar Mini Stadium in Brikama. Also coming to you live on LSTV at the commentary cabin is Lamin Fati, K. Mokanyi, Saliu Jallo, Lamin Mane, and behind camera operations is Osman Kamara. Of course, we definitely had a bitter pill to swallow. But anyway, we will definitely talk about that later. Total concentration. Of course, total concentration on the game currently. We will surely get that on a different time and different schedules. But anyway, left to them alone, we wouldn't be here. This time around, ball being taken forward. Left to the West Coast Region Football Association Organizing Committee, we wouldn't have been here. But anyway, that is the beauty of the game for you. There is already a player down injured, and of course a player down. And this time it's going to be Sibanor United, who is currently having the number 8, Sunkaru Baji, down. And Sunkaru is currently receiving from the medics. Sunkaru is currently receiving attention from the medics. Of course, an impressive turnout at the Box Bar Mini Stadium compared to the turnout yesterday. And they believe with LSTV, they wouldn't have that huge turnout as far as the monetary income is concerned. But anyway, the beauty of this is to showcase talent and also show the people outside what the people of the Gambia can do. And anyway, Saliu, the game is temporarily stopped as it's currently 0-0 between Sibanor and Gambinos.
Yes, indeed, Pa, you're absolutely right. And we played 39 minutes played. But then he's still part of this commentary, and we have to talk about him because this act is an enemy of progress act. How many people are watching from distance who can't be at the Boxbar Mini Stadium, who are at their comfort zone watching this game? People all the way in the diaspora watching a football contest here at the Boxbar Mini Stadium, a semi-final. They'll be very much pleased with that. But just to know that LSTV is not brought here by the organizers, but one team, one single team from Sibanor. A chance for the number 19 for Sibanor. Can he see it? Oh boy! It is a goal for Sibanor United. The number 19, Bakari Kojabi. That is why we are here, to watch goals galore. Well, despite the enemy of progress stopping that film, Sibanor have taken the lead here. His prayers will never reach heaven, because Sibanor's prayers have finally reached heaven. They have broken their luck. Well, the team from Fonyi Bintan Karanai is leading the academy team from Mandinari by a goal to nil. Forget about the academy basics. Bakari Kojabi have broken their luck. Oh boy, oh boy. The viewers must be very much pleased with that simple tap. An experienced goal. A goal that might, of course, catapult Sibanor into the final, in which Kunkujang fans are in waiting, Pafati. What a goal. Well, my emotions are now okay.
Thank you very much, Saliu Jallo. Deadlock broken at the Boxbar Mini Stadium, and this time it is advantage Sibanor United. Sibanor leading by a goal to nil, courtesy of centre forward Bakari Kujabi. And Bakari broke the deadlock to give the advantage to the boys in blue and black. Sibanor United under the guidance of Ibrahima Kamara, having the assistance of Omar Baji, and on the other dugout for Gambinos is Yankuba Diba and Arnold Otas. Is another opportunity, Bakari Kujabi, and the goalkeeper just there in time to get that ball off the feet of the centre forward Kujabi. Sibanor United came Okani currently leading, and that was another opportunity to find the back of the net once again.
Yes, that was another wasted opportunity there, but they could have doubled the lead by now. But nonetheless, it is football for you. You create chance, and then in the end, your opponents will also be hoping that whatever chances that you will creating against them, at least trying to make a stop to that. And then the goalkeeper was well aware, and then his height also was very, very helpful in that particular regard. And then he was very much aware of the movement that Sibanor number 19 was making into that particular position. Bakari Kujabi. He is the scorer for the first goal, and then he could have gone for a double, and then but the goalkeeper was well aware of him, and then stopped that for the good of the Gambino stars. Sibanor still leading here by a lone goal to nil. A very, very beautiful contest, and a highly, contested game between these two sides here. Already a very, very beautiful game that we have already watched here. A semi-final that was to be called a semi-final indeed.
Thank you very much, Kemo Kanyi. Lively contest, of course, into the final moments of the first half at the Boxbar Mini Stadium between Sibanor United and Gambinos. And it is currently Sibanor 1, Gambinos 0 in the second semi-final, who is advancing to the final. And the winner of this contest will play, of course, will be playing in the final against Kunkujang Friends, who defeated Mishira United on post-match shootout in a tense atmosphere at the Boxbar Mini Stadium yesterday. The game ended 0-0 before Kunkujang Friends advancing on a post-match shootout, booking a place to the final, and they will either play Sibanor United or Gambinos FC in the final of this year's West Coast Region 3rd Division. Ibrahima Kamara, the head coach, busy on his technical area. Yankuba Diba also very busy on his technical area. From the Boxbar Mini Stadium, live on LSTV1 at the commentary cabin, Parlament Fati, Kemo Kanyi, Saliu Jallo, Lamin Mane, and behind camera operations is Osman Kamara. Bakari Kujabi, who scored the only goal so far, is currently having that tough against the central defender, of course, from Gambinos Football Club. And Gambinos will now have the opportunity to benefit, and of course to benefit from an infringement, and it's going to be taken by the boys in green colors. Sibanor United dressed in blue shorts, black shorts and blue socks, whilst Gambinos in all green. To the goalkeeper Buba Samba, tall and lanky, playing that ball short. Gambino star, or Gambinos Football Club, using the opportunity to launch that ball forward. Landing Jaju is one of the central defenders, and of course the team captain for Sibanor United. The goal, oh! That seems serious. That seems serious. And that seems to be a furious technical area for head coach Ibrahim Kamara. After the central referee Modlamin K. Jata giving the opportunity, of course, giving the opportunity to Gambinos, and the goalkeeper seems to be okay. We thought that was going to be a serious one, Kemo Kanye, but we believe the goalkeeper is back on his feet. Nothing happens to the goalkeeper, we believe.
Yes, very well. He is okay to continue, so you can see he's back on his feet and then be willing to take part into the final moments of this particular first half here. Already, we are currently into the 45th minutes of this particular encounter, and then Sibanor have 1 minute plus the additional time that will be added here to at least maintain this particular scoreline before a halftime break, and then while that of their opponents, Gambino Stars, have that particular the same timing to do the needful for themselves into this particular game part.
Thank you very much, Kemo Kanye. And into the final moments of the first period. Sibanor 1, Gambinos 0. In case you're just joining us, this is all coming to you live from the Box Bar Mini Stadium, live on LSTV1 at the commentary cabin, Parliament Fati. Kemo Kanye, Saliu Jalo, Lamin Mane, and behind camera operations is Osman Kamara. Sibanor United in this contest is still starting with Isaac Mendy in goal, Sana Nyasi, Landing Jaju, Omar Nyasi, Modu Sedi, Osman Kamara, Sunkaru Baji, Modlamin Jaju, Abdullah Tamba. Already 2 minutes of additional time as put up by the fourth assistant referee Aliu Kamara. Sibanor United, Francis Gomez trying to connect the run of the forward, caught out by Gambinos now, who will try to launch once again. Gambinos trailed by a goal to nil. This time it's a great block in there by the player for Gambinos, and of course being rewarded by the central referee Modlamin K. Jata. Jata Modlamin is having the assistance of Musa Baji. Buba Sise, Aliu Kamara is the fourth assistant referee, and of course Hamadi Janko is serving as the fourth assistant referee. Isaac Mendy is in goal for Sibanor. Sana Nyasi, Landing Jaju, Omar Nyasi, Modu Sedi, Osman Kamara, Sunkaru Baji, Modlamin Jaju, Abdullah Tamba, Bakari Kujabi, and Francis Gomez completing the 11 for Sibanor United. And on the substitute bench for Sibanor is Ibrahim Sane, Mohamed Jalo, Usainu Sanyang, Ismaila Jaju, Bubakar Bajan, Modlamin Kamara, Habibu Jata, Sanature, and Sene Nyase, completing the list of players on the technical bench for Sibanor United. And the head coach is Ibrahim Kamara as usual, and Osman or Ibrahim Arada is having the assistance of Omar Baji. And Gambinos is starting with Buba Samba in goal, Omar Bujang, Chernobari, Usman Sanyang, Jibi Conte, Keba Kamara, Abubakar Sila, Musa Njai, Aliu Sonko, and Sumana Samura, Mohamed Krubali completing the 11. And on the substitute bench is Mohamed Sila, Famara Bojang, Musa Drame, Keba Kante, Seh Jame, Yusufa Jete, Ansu Kamara, and Modlamin Samura. Into the final moment, Sibanor leading by a goal to nil against Gambinos Football Club. Into the final moments of the first half. Probably that might be the first action of the first half.
Yes, the last action of the first half, to be precise, Pafati. But can Sibanor put two past Gambinos? But it's like we have seen a disjointed Gambino Stars Africa in the final 5 minutes of this first half, and that is why the assistant together with the coach is busy on the line trying to connect the dots, but they have to defend this at pace.
This is Francis Gomez into the gloves of the custodian, lost it, being rewarded by the central referee. Into the final moments of the first period at the Box Bar Mini Stadium, and of course live on LSTV at the commentary cabin, Parliament Fati. Kemo Kanye and Saliu Jalosman Kamara behind camera operations, and it is half time at the Box Bar. Half time in the game between Sibanor and Gambinos, and it is currently Sibanor 1, Gambinos 0, and this is where we're going to have 15 minutes of rest, and we will surely have time to have 15 minutes of rest. And do join us for the continuation of the live commentary in the second half. Until then, it has been Parliament Fati, Kemo Kanye, Saliu Jalo, and behind camera operations is Osman Kamara. Bye for now, and do join us in the next 15.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back on LSTV1, and this is just a halftime chit chat with my boss. I am Saleh Jallo, and this is boss Amadou Tamba. Sibanor are leading by a goal to nil, courtesy of Bakari in the first half, into the final dance of the first half. But then it is an end-to-end stuff. So, boss Tamba, a final before a final. Your take on this game, the build-up before the first half.
Well, thank you very much, Saliu. I think, as you said, it's a final before the final. Most of the people would have expected this to be the final, with due respect to other teams. But I think the teams that deserves to play the final will play the final. It's a good game. We expected it to be a good game between Gambinos and Sibanor. All of them are very, very talented teams. Gambinos is a household name when it comes to the third division. They've been doing very well. Of course, they have good players who have gone on to play for under 17. You can see Keba played for the under 17, and Sumana is currently training with the under 20. Sibanor as well have very good players. Francis playing with the under 17, and of course really very, very good team. So we expected this kind of performance in the first half from both sides. And for me personally, when I was coming here yesterday, we saw a goalless draw. For me, when I was coming here, I expected that we were going to get goals, not even one, because Gambinos had the chances, Sibanor had the chances, Sibanor took theirs, and they also missed some of them. So relatively, it's a good first half.
The return of Francis Gomez in this fixture, does that add added value, or does that add value to Sibanor's quest of reaching the dreamland?
Yeah, of course. Any team that gets Francis, you know that he adds value to your team. He's a very good player, very skillful, very pacey, and young, but he's a decisive player, just like the way Yamal is at Barcelona. He knows he has a responsibility for the team. They were there last season.
Why don't you attribute him to that of your coach called Palma, but Yamal of Barcelona?
No, they're similar. Yamal and Francis, more or less similar players than Palma and Francis. I think he's a fine player, and he has the wall at his feet, and I know he will absolutely go on to help this team get to the dreamland, because last season they were in the semi-finals, in the final, unfortunately lost the final. I think they will want to go a step further this time around to ensure that that is corrected.
In the first 20 minutes, of course, Gambinos caused some threats in front of goal, but it proved futile. Was that a wake-up call for the defense line of course, Sibanor, who are also trying to play the ball at the back?
Yeah, both coaches are very good. You can see the Gambinos bench. Yankuba is a very good coach. The assist of Guti and others are absolute very, very good coaches. You go to the Sibanor bench, Ibrahim is an absolute good coach. He's a serial winner. The assistants...
That's your boss?
Yeah, absolutely. And the assistants he got on the technical bench are absolutely very good coaches. So I think the two coaches are well, the two benches are well set up when it comes to technical matters and tactical matters as well. And on the pitch, they have the players who will carry their instructions to the latter. So Gambino started well, and they were trying to play it out of their defense, because you know it's an academy team. They will want to knock the ball, they will want to start. And Sibanor waited patiently, and they pressed. They had this high pressing up front, and it really it paid off for Sibanor, and they got the goal here.
Abdullah Tamba got some couple of chances in front of goal, but his control was too powerful to handle.
Well, for me, I think Ablai and Francis are not at their best. They're way better than this. They had a good first half, but I think they can do better than what we saw in the first half. At his best, he can go past any marker, and he can shoot and score from any distance. So I think when they get into the dressing room, I think the coach will tell them to push and add more, because this is a semi-final, it's a big stage, and I know they will step up when they come out for the second period.
Well, take us through the goal.
Well, it's a good goal. Bakari is a pacey player. I worked with him for quite a long time now in the zonals, and he also played for me at Jacko Isibrik. I think he's a very, very fine player. He's a player who always works hard. The moment the ball doesn't go out, he doesn't stop fighting for it. And you could see when the ball was floated into the Gambino's half, he went in for it, and winning it so relaxed, so composed, and had to take the shot from that position, and the ball hitting the post and into the back of the net. I think it's a goal of a striker. He's an absolute brilliant player.
But what would it mean, despite it is half-time here and goals might gallow in the second half, but what will it mean to Gambinos or to Sibanor United if they have to cross the hurdle heading into the final of this competition? What will it mean to them?
It will mean a lot. If Gambinos qualifies to the second division, it will mean a lot to them, because they've invested a lot in the game, and they will want to see their team playing in the third division, second division and fourth division. Sibanor as well, if they qualify to the second division or wins this one and go into the final, I think it will mean a lot to them. They've invested a lot in this game, though coming from Fonyi, but they've really invested a lot in the game. And you can see they try to sign players from all over Fonyi, and anywhere they can get a player to come in and bolster the squad, because they know that last year they went to the final and lost. This year they want to go to the final and rectify what happened last year. So it will mean a lot. It will really, really mean a lot, especially for Sibanor. I think there's no team coming from Fonyi playing in the second division. So if Sibanor gets to the second division, it's a big plus for the whole of Fonyi.
Is it a now or never for Sibanor after asking questions? Last time they went into the final, they lost to, of course, Balostar in a dramatic way. Is it now or never for Sibanor or for Fonyi Bintankaranai district to be precise?
Yeah, you will know, I will say it now, but not never, because we have a lot of talent in Fonyi, and I know as time goes on we will surely get there. But I think it's now for Sibanor. Last year they were here, this time around they're here in the semi-finals. So one more step to go if they get to the final to try and win the final. And I think they get the players. Last year the players who were here were very, very good players, and I think this time around also we have very good players that can do us good.
But what are we expecting in the second half, Boss Tamba? And probably Gambinos will come from the locker room trying to, of course, equalize, restore parity as soon as possible. But then are you expecting, of course, a compose of a Sibanor side in the second half, trying to, of course, be behind the ball and build on a counter?
Yeah, I expect a very difficult game in the second period, and tactics will absolutely be at display, because Sibanor will have to protect the goal before going in for a second goal. Gambinos will have to step out to look for an equalizing goal, and the spaces they leave behind might be advantageous to Sibanor to exploit, because they have pacey players up front. All the front three are very, very good at pace. So it's really going to be a very difficult second period for both sides. Sibanor wanting to protect the goal, Gambinos wanting to go in and get the equalizing goal.
Finally, a promising turnout to precise even the viewers via LSTV1. What can you tell us about community football?
These two teams are household names in the third division. With due respect, Gambinos is a very good team in the third division. They've been doing very well. A lot of people had their name, but unfortunate not to watch them in either Gambinos or wherever they go and play in the third division. So they will have the opportunity to come to Brickham and watch them, because it's an absolute brilliant team. Take nothing away from them. Sibanor is a very good team. Most of these players, people saw them in the zonals, and they will want to see them again, and they're seeing them now in a regional league. So absolutely, it means a lot to the people living within West Coast, and those even beyond West Coast, to come and watch this talent. There is absolute talent in West Coast.
Well, you're wearing a cap of a journalist and a cap of a coach, to be precise, but on the side of the coach, what will you say to your players if you are the head coach of Gambino South Africa, coming from the locker room trailing by a goal to nil?
Yeah, what we're going to do is let the players playing the back four to be very patient, and from the midfield up front, let's try to make sure we attack and get the equalizing goal, because if you sit back, it doesn't count, because the opponent have a goal and they want to protect that goal. So let's get the defense line patient, and let's get other players attacking.
How about if you are Ibrahim Kamara of Sibanor United?
The defense should be very stable, no need to move up. The holding midfielder should be patient, and all other players should also be ready to fight without the ball.
Is that what he normally does? Because you are his assistant at Fonyi's, with the Fonyi zonal team.
Well, when we go into the dressing room, either winning or losing is a different approach. When we win, when we have an advantage, it's a different approach. When we are losing, it's a different approach. I remember when we went to Lamen and we were losing 2-0 to Sanyang in the semi-finals. We told the players that, look, we cannot afford to lose to a team like Sanyang if we want to make history in this competition. So we must go out there in the second period and show them that yes, we are from Fonyi and we can beat any team in this competition. So that boosted the players' morals. They came out and they took the game beyond the reach of Sanyang.
With your analysis, who are you tipping in the final to play against Kunkujang Friends?
Well, right now, as things stands, advantage Sibanor, but you can never tell as far as this game is concerned. Sibanor have the advantage, and they will hope that it remains like that for them to play the final and get it over Kunkujang Friends. But it's 45 minutes, and a long 45 minutes. You cannot predict.
Thank you very much, Tamba. Pleasure speaking to him. That was, of course, my boss in Tamba, giving us those half-time analysis. And it is half-time here at the Box Bar Mini Stadium, in which Sibanor Bakari is leading, of course, by a goal to nil. We will come back to that later after this 15 minutes break. But we will take a short break and then we'll be back quickly here on LSTV1.
Welcome back to the Box Bar Mini Stadium for the continuation of the live commentary. Of course, it is going to be the commencement of the second half between Sibanor United and Gambinos, and already is an early substitution. Omar Bojang is already taking off and being replaced by Keba Kante for Gambinos. And Gambinos with a fresh leg in search for an equalizer, hoping to get this game to parity against Sibanor United. Of course, that's the biggest ambition. Also the biggest question, will Gambinos be able to come from a goal down to secure a 1-1 scoreline remains to be seen. But before that, we will surely be here to get you every other proceeding. Just the commencement, of course, it has been an improved turnout at the Box Bar Mini Stadium in this game between Sibanor and Gambinos. And it is also coming to you live on LSTV1 at the commentary cabin for Lamin Fati, Saliu Jallo, Timo Kanyi and Lamin Mane. Gambinos now caught out by Sibanor United. Switches the play from the left to the right. And Gambinos with a timely interception on Sumana Samura. Samura 10, playing that ball short, caught out, Gambinos regain possession. It is the boys in green colours, Gambinos, blocked in there by the centre forward and the only goal scorer, Bakari Kujabi of Sibanor United. And Bakari Kujabi broke the deadlock to give the 1-0 advantage to Sibanor United against Gambinos in the second semi-final of West Coast Region 3rd Division. Bakari Kujabi chesting that ball down, trying to connect the run of Francis Gomez, too strong. Back to the custodian, Buba Samba. Gambinos to start the ball in their own half. Team captain Usman Sanyang. It's time to Barry, who dribbled past one looking for options, trying to twist and turn. Getting that ball forward to Samura, another tricky and pacey player. Samura, is that going to be a foul? Of course, given Ansumana Samura is the player in question. And that is already an infringement as given by the central referee, of course, Modlamin Kejata, and Modlamin Kejata has already does out a yellow. And a yellow card to Modu Sedi of Sibanor United. And Gambinos will have the opportunity to benefit. Gambinos will have the opportunity to benefit. It's going to be an opportunity. It's going to be an opportunity for Gambinos Football Club to deliver this set piece. And currently Ansumana Samura is currently on the ball as he is currently preparing to deliver. Already on the ball equally is Aliu Sonko. We have Aliu Sonko and Samura on the ball. Crowded penalty area. Ansumana Samura floats that ball into the gloves of the custodian, and the goalkeeper is Isaac Mendy for Sibanor United. Isaac Mendy in goal. And in the opposite goal post is Buba Samba. This is Sibanor United on the attack. Another opportunity is Sibanor. Player wrestled and rewarded by the central referee. Furious central defender and team captain Osman Sanyang is in the list, happy with that decision coming from the central referee. And of course, the referee has the final say. Modlamin Kejata is the central referee. Musa Baji, Buba Sise, Aliu Kamara is the fourth assistant referee. And Hamadi Janko is the match commissioner in the second semi-final of West Coast Region 3rd Division. And it is a clash between Sibanor and Gambinos from the Box Bar Mini Stadium. Live on LSTV1. Sibanor United. Of course, we're going to start with Gambinos, who were in Group A alongside Tujereng Sukuta Nema Community, GCAA/BIA, Isohna Dreamers, Berewuleng, Jam City, Marakisa, Misira United, and Sanyang United. And in Group B, we had Sibanor United, Farato Bojang Kunda Kunkujam Friends, Sifo Dizayus, Muzumbala Dutch Lions, Folong Koreal Estate, Fonyi Heroes, Col Jengs, Menmar, G-Star, and Sedis Football Club. And currently, Sibanor United will have the opportunity to deliver through Francis Gomez. Francis floats way off target, way over the crossbar. It's a goal kick, and goal kick to Gambinos, who are desperately in search for an equalizer. Will they be able to get it? Of course, it's the biggest ambition. And Tujereng United played in the first game against Gambinos, and it ended 2-2 against Tujereng United. In the second fixture, it ended Sukuta United 0, Gambinos 5. Nema Community up against Gambinos ended 0-0. GCAA/BIA lost 4-0 to Gambinos Football Club in the fourth round. And against Isohna, it ended 2-2 before playing another trailing 2-2 scoreline against Dreamers Football Club. It ended 0-0 against Berewuleng. Jam City lost 2-1 to Gambinos before Gambinos FC winning 2-0 against Maracisa United. On the far side is going to be a chase for Sibanor United, trying to keep the ball in play. Nicely done, and already handed that ball to Gambinos, who will solely use the opportunity to break it. Already the central referee, the assistant referee's flag is up, and up against Gambinos. Of course, it is the commencement of the second half, and second half alive and well. Kemo Kanye, great beginning. Of course, it is a great start for both Gambinos and Sibanor in the second half. Currently, Sibanor United enjoying the 1-0 advantage against Gambinos in the second half of the West Coast Region 3rd Division semi-final fixture between Gambinos and Sibanor United at the Box Bar Mini Stadium.
Yes, for a renewal of commitment from both sides here, the way they are approaching this particular second half tells you that both sides want to win this particular game to play in the final against Kunkujang friends. So let's see what happens. But currently, Sibanor United are the team that will be heading to the final if it had to end like this. So it is good, but there is a lot of job also for them to do towards the ending of the second half here. But I mean, it is football. No time is just very small. So anything can happen at any time, so long the match continues to be played. So but it is a very good game since the first half from both sides. It has been a great performance from either of the sides here. We have seen so many talents being showcased here overall, then coming in the first half, then coming into the second half again. I mean, the players here that are taking part into this particular game all want to qualify their team to the final, and then eventually making their way to the second division next season. So let's see which of the sides here will be making it to the final, and then eventually whether they can make it to the second division, and then playing against one of the very good sides as well, Kunkujang friends here, who had beaten Misira United on this particular ground yesterday by from the penalty shootout, because that particular game ended in a 0-0 scoreline. Then it has to be settled from the sports. For this one already, we have witnessed a goal in the first half, and then we are now into the second half. So let's see what happens here.
It's going to be another opportunity. Timely interception coming from the central defender and team captain Usman Sanyang. That was indeed a great pass, trying to connect the run of Francis Gomez, but the central referee, of course the central defender rather, Usman Sanyang, and who doubles as the team captain for Gambinos, just there in time to cut that ball out. It's another opportunity. Sibanor United in their oppositions have Francis Gomez. Francis trying to twist and turn, playing that ball short to Usman Kamara. Usman surge forward, trying to control that ball for Sibanor United. Rasul Andise throw in, as waved by the assistant referee Buba Sise. Buba Sise is one of the assistants, and the other assistant is Musa Baji. Central referee Mudlamin Kijata. Aliu Kamara is the fourth assistant referee. Hamadi Janko is the match commissioner. This already the flag is up. Aliu Jalo, brilliant game, great second half, and great start coming from Sibanor and Gambinos, and currently Sibanor on the advantage. And the only thing that Sibanor needs to do here is just be able to hold on to this 1-0 advantage, and they will advance to the final of this year's West Coast Region 3rd Division.
Yes, absolutely. And well, it is a semi-final, and there's a lot at stake in this final touches of this semi-final. As mentioned, probably Kunkujang friends are spectators today watching from the stands in this game, because a winner of this fixture will play Kunkujang friends in the final. But then we have seen a different Gambinos compared to the first 20 minutes that they were playing, controlling, creating opportunities. But then we have seen Sibanor that is not relaxing, only that is not only depending on the one goal lead, but they want to put the game to bed. We have seen a couple of glimpses in front of goal that they have created, but then still Gambinos remain solid, but they're always dangerous in front when it comes to the counter. That is Gambinos. The transition in front of goal will tell you, well, this is an academy team that is trying to sell experience to Sibanor United. But then Sibanor also, there is experience in them. It's more of like experience versus determination. The last time they came, they came to this stage, they crossed the hurdle to the final, and they lost the final to Balosar, in which it was an evening that they will forget and they will never remember in the history books of Sibanor on the coast of reaching the dreamland. But then it's going to be a very interesting final touches of this semi-final, Pafati.
Of course, it is going to be interesting, and it has been an interesting fixture already, right from the beginning between Sibanor and Gambinos. And Gambinos will now try to regroup once again after losing possession on the field.
Yeah, one thing that I observe, the number 10 of Gambino, that is, of course, Ansumana Samura is still struggling since the start of this game. That is the number 10 is struggling despite giving a yellow card. Number 11 of Sibanor United, but the number 10 is still struggling. You look at him right now; he have been, busy warming up, trying to get himself back in this game, but he's still struggling.
Of course, that was the voice of Saliu Jallo earlier on. Kemo Kanye at the commentary cabin is Lamin Fati. Saliu Jallo, Kemo Kanye and Lamin Mane. Behind camera operations is Osman Kamara. From the Box Bar Mini Stadium in Brickham, and of course it is live on LSTV1 at the commentary cabin, just as I said earlier. Of course, the central referee is Modlamin Kejata. Musa Baji is one of the assistants. It's another opportunity for Sibanor United to attack once again. Caught out by Gambinos. Not for too long. Around the edge of the 18. Sibanor United with another opportunity. Drilled the ball low. This time to the advancing player. Clearance coming from Gambinos. Gambinos with a decent clearance. Sibanor United. Player slips in the process. Gambinos to start the play from their own half. On the right side of the defense. It is the boys in green colors. Gambinos lost possession. It is Sibanor now playing that ball short. Can they get something from this? The flag of the assistant referee is up, and up against Sibanor United's Abdullah Tamba. And Abdullah is being penalized by the flag of the assistant referee. And I think both sides are trying to be very much cautious here. Sibanor United will definitely want not to concede, whilst Gambinos will definitely want to at least pull, at least get a goal, and possibly force this game to a post-match shootout.
Yes, indeed. But a difficult moment for Sunkaru Baji, the number 8 for Sibanor. It looks like it's not a good news for Sibanor United and Sunkaru Baji. He still is struggling with his fifth. But can he continue? Remains the $1 million question. Yes, he have already requested for a substitution. Seems like Sunkaru, that is the end for Sunkaru Baji, the number 8 for Sibanor United. Is going to be sub off according to the medic. They have already signaled the technical side for a substitution, but then Sunkaru will be back on the pitch, but then he will be sub off according to the technical side for Sibanor United. But then they have created some few chances in front of goal in the second half, but it's still difficult for them to put this game to bed, and it's time for Gambinos.
It's Gambinos on the far side, trying to unlock the defense now. Getting that ball low, Sibanor on a defensive work, cleared desperately. That was definitely a timely clearance coming from Sibanor United. After that beautiful run on the left side of the attack for Gambinos. And Gambinos continue to search for an equalizer, and currently trailed by a 1-0 against Sibanor United at the Box Bar Mini Stadium. Of course, a great turnout at the theatre. Box Bar Mini Stadium in Brickham hosting the second, and of course the first and second semi-final fixtures of the West Coast Region 3rd Division. Yesterday at the Box Bar Mini Stadium, it ended 0-0 between Kunkujang Friends and Misira United, before Kunkujang Friends advancing on post-match shootout, booking a place into the final. And Sibanor or Kunkujang Friends will play either Sibanor United or Gambinos, and currently advantage Sibanor United. And it's going to be another substitution for the boys from Sibanor. Seni Nyase is currently being prepared to be introduced. Seni Nyasi, number 7, is being prepared. Sibanor United leading by a 0-0 against Gambinos. Gambinos now rewarded by central referee. Quickly taken. Gambinos now lost possession to Sibanor. It's going to be a throw-in. Gambinos desperately in search for one equalizer. Will the team be able to get that? Remains to be seen. Ball being taken quickly. It is now the turn of Gambino Cherno Bari. Cherno lost possession. It's going to be a great chase for Sibanor United's Abdullah Tamba. Abdullah tricky and pacey. Rasuled and rewarded. Nothing given by the central referee, who pointed for a goal kick instead of awarding an advantage to Sibanor United. And of course, that has been a furious technical bench for Sibanor United. And you could also hear the cheers and shouts coming from the supporters of Sibanor United. They seem not to be happy with that decision from the referee.
Well, they felt that Abdullah Tamba was slapped in that action. But then he's still on the ground, but the referee in ML turned deaf ears, so that is Molamin Chata. A substitution for Sibanor, and the first substitution, as I mentioned earlier on, the number 8, Sunkaru Baji, will be sub off for the number 7.
Seni Nyasi will be introduced any moment from now.
Yes, indeed, Seni Nyasi, and he will now join his brother. Sananyasi, who are donned the number 3 jersey. We made to understand they, of course, Seni and Sana, the former national team players as well. To be precise.
Thank you very much, Saliu Jallo. Any moment from now we're going to have that substitution, but before that it's a delivery coming from Gambinos Football Club. Gambinos dressed in green colors. The central referee not the least interested when the player Cherno Barry is being brought down, but Cherno is being rewarded by the central referee who waved in for a play on instead of awarding an infringement.
Well, you look at the way Gambinos play, it's like they're waiting for that important moment, that golden moment that they will of course capitalize on. And here is now the substitution, and Seninyasi is coming in for the number 8, that is Sunkarubaji. As mentioned earlier on, you look at the way Gambinos play, they still relax. They are not receiving that pressure from their technical side. Even the coach is asking them to calm down. Let us just calm down. Let us stick to the 1-0 lead for now, and let's create something. If you have an opportunity, we capitalize on it. But the look on the face of the number 10, that is Ansumana Samuel, that I mentioned earlier on, he's not really himself right now. He's not feeling himself.
Thank you very much.
It seems to me I've already pulled his strings, to be precise.
There we go, and it is currently a lively contest. And substitution effected Seninyasi, introduced by Sibanor United. That is his first touch. Seninyasi 7 on his back, and he has already been introduced in the second period in this crucial and lively contest. Gambinos around the center circle, spreads that ball wide to Seninyasi. Sana currently playing on the right side of the defense for Sibanor United, whilst the new entrant, of course the new entrant Seninyasi, is being deployed on the left side of the attack. Sibanor United having Seninyasi on the right side and Seni the new entrant. Seni and Sana for Sibanor United. Sibanor enjoying the 1-0 advantage. Francis Gomez trying to connect the advancing player. Lost possession. Gambinos will now chase. Coming through live from the Box Bar Mini Stadium. It is Samura now around the edge of the 18-yard. Samura, a player Rasul, and this time that's a slap on the face seemingly.
Yes. And now team captain is the beneficiary, and the number 10 Ansumana Samura is the culprit, and he will receive a yellow at the attack. But that was an advantage given earlier on, Pafati. But then it's like the center referee still having his communication device, disappointing him. But then it's Sibanor that is still leading by a goal to nil, Pafati, in this game.
Thank you very much, Saliu Jallo. Earlier on came Okanye. And it is through in on the far side for Gambinos. Gambinos still 1-0. They need to score if they want to advance to the final. And the winner in this contest will play Kunkujang Friends, who defeated Misira United yesterday on post-match shootout in the fourth semi-final. It is Gambinos once again, who trail 1-0. Sibanor United blocks that ball to touch for a throw-in once again to Gambinos on the far side. It has been a lively contest right from the beginning. Great possessive display between Gambinos and Sibanor United. A long throw coming from Gambinos. The final touch, Sibanor United. Gambinos will benefit once again. This time it's going to be a corner.
And Chernobari to take.
It's going to be a corner. Chernobari will surely deliver this corner for the boys in green colors.
It's going to be an in-swinger for Gambinos from Chernobari, the number 17. And it is a set piece. And you have seen most of the Sibanor players inside that 6-yard box trying to defend this in-swinger.
It's a corner beautifully executed, and the goalkeeper had a touch.
Isaac Mendy.
And already the flag or the central referee has already Sibanor. Goalkeeper Isaac Mendy going down. Isaac Mendy is the goalkeeper. Kemo Kanye, of course, the tempo of the game has definitely dropped. Currently trying to be very much defensive here and trying to either protect this 1-0 advantage if they can't get the second goal, whilst Gambinos are trying to go all out to get the most needed or the much needed equalizer against Sibanor United. So we believe a goal in this contest will definitely be decisive here.
Very well, Sibanor, they understand their role into this particular game as of now, because the only job that they can do to get themselves qualified to the final is to try to keep this particular score as it is, or out of their advantage, while they will also deny the Gambino Stars from registering any goal into this. But Gambinos as well, they know that they must score for them to get themselves anything into this particular game. So that is at the back of their minds. So, and then as well, Sibanor United are also doing the same thing, and they also understand the role that they will need to play here for them to get themselves to the final. So these are the two issues that that both teams are having in their minds. So Sibanor is doing very well, I believe. So this is one of the reasons that his team is currently leading this particular game by a lone goal to nil here, and then they are still trying to making sure that they move the game with a tempo that favors them, and then they are doing that brilliantly very well. Sibanor United currently they are the team that is standing a chance to qualify to the next level bar.
Thank you very much, Kim Okanyi. Another brilliant run and another brilliant opportunity for Sibanor United, but failed in the process. Gambinos, the player slips in the process. On the far side, it's a throw-in, and it has been a lively contest. Great game between Gambinos and Sibanor United from the Box Bar Mini Stadium in Brickham and live on LSTV at the commentary cabin. Parliament Fati, Saliu Jalo, Kim Okanyi. Solid defensive work coming from the central defender Omar Nyasi of Sibanor United, and Sibanor will try to regroup whilst Gambinos will deliver a throw-in. Quickly taken, the team desperately in search for an equalizer. Will Gambinos be able to get the much needed equalizer remains to be seen, but also the biggest question around the area. Central referee has already given the opportunity. It's an infringement, and of course it's a set piece for Gambinos, who will surely have the opportunity to benefit from this set piece at a great position. It is definitely a set piece at a great position for Gambinos.
Yes, because the number 10 is of course giving them a hell to live in. That is the number 10 for Gambinos. But then he's still struggling, as I mentioned earlier on, with the set piece at a very promising angle. You look at the player who is trying to do the Anthony's way, and the center referee have already spotted that through their communication. And you can see that he has to ask Cherno and Co to return the ball at the usual position. But then they have to defend this one at a very promising angle, and it's going to be an interesting probability, or from the training ground they might try to execute here.
It's a set piece for Gambinos. We're currently having two of the players. Gambinos floats that. That's a diving header coming from the central defender back on his feet. And what's going to be? And the central referee has already signaled something. The central referee has already signaled something. And he has already given the opportunity to Sibanor United. And it is definitely a furious technical area for Gambinos. They aren't happy with the decision of the central referee anyway.
Well, he has the final say. Early on, we have seen a flying header there, and all of a sudden, play continues. And then Gambinos were outside of the area, trying to create something there, and the whistle is blown from the central referee, and play have to be stopped. The fans are now talking. They have been quiet for a moment, but it's like they're trying to debate on this decision from the center referee, but the foot official have already had a word with the coach for Gambinos.
It is an attack for Sibanor United. Gambinos on a defensive work. The only goal scorer, Bakari Kujabi. Solid defensive work coming from the team captain. Of course, the team captain for Gambinos Football Club is Osman Sanyang. Osman just there in time to call that ball out. Lively contest at the Box Bar Mini Stadium. Of course, an incredible game. A great fixture. Sibanor United 1, Gambinos Football Club 0. Sibanor United, of course, the winners of Group A, or Group B rather, whilst Gambinos, the runners-up in Group A. Sibanor United won Group B around the area. Gambinos regain possession. It's going to be another opportunity for Gambinos to break. Gambinos into the gloves of the custodian. Gambinos, the runners-up in Group A, against the winners of Group B, Sibanor United. Sibanor United, we are in the same group alongside Farato Bojankunda. And against Farato Bojankunda, it ended 0-0. Sibanor United lost to Kunkujang Friends 1-0. And if they are able to advance, will play against Kunkujang Friends once again. In the game against Kunkujang Friends, Sibanor United lost 1-0. Against C4, it was 1-0 victory for Sibanor United. Defeated Decisive 4-0. It's going to be the new entrant now. Sananyasi squares that ball on the far side. Francis Gomez controls that ball. Saved by the custodian. That was indeed a great run From the new entrant, of course, the new entrant, Seni Nyasi for Sibanor United. Squares that ball on the far side, trying to connect the run of Francis Gomez. And the ball was beautifully met by Francis Gomez, but his simple tap in was blocked in there by the netminder, Buba Samba, in goal for Gambinos Football Club.
A brilliant fight by Seni Nyasi there around the center circle, around the center line here. And then you have to raise that head within a blink of an eye, and he spotted Francis from distance. And Francis was there, but in a weaker foot, to be precise. You have to stop, comfortable break there. But then the end result proved futile. A very good goalkeeping there by the shot stopper of Gambinos. And well, the game is still alive despite the Gambinos trailing by 1-0.
It is still alive and well. From the Box Bar Mini Stadium, of course, time definitely not on the side of Gambinos.
Well, from his experience, we expect him to put that ball at the back of the net. That is, of course, Francis Gomez. Well, many will say there is high expectations on him, and he have to deliver. He have to deliver that expectation. He have to deliver that promise. Coming here to, of course, give or to guide the Sibanor to glory. You know, he have a pivotal role to play. He have a very important role to play. But then it is still 1-0, which is a very dangerous scoreline in the field of play.
It is still a dangerous scoreline in the field of play. Words of a colleague and brother Salih Ujalo. Earlier on, Kemo Kanye from the Box Bar Mini Stadium in Brikama, live on LSTV1. It is the West Coast Region 3rd Division semi-final, and the semi-final between Sibanor United and Gambinos Football Club. Sibanor United enjoying the 1-0 advantage against Gambinos. Gambinos recovered. It's going to be Samura. Samura, another 3-key player, trying to unlock the defense. Caught out by Sibanor United in their own half. Samura blocks that ball to touch for a throw in, and Sibanor wouldn't be in any hurry, as Sibanor is currently leading by 1-0 against Gambinos. Time is definitely not on the side of Gambinos, who trail by 1-0 against Sibanor United. It's a throw in Gambinos. The boys in green colors to the custodian Buba Samba, tall and lanky. Samba Buba. Buba Samba to the player on the far side, the central defender, of course, for Sibanor, just there in time. Omar Nyase. Omar Nyase, the central defender, very agile central defender for Sibanor United. Gambinos regain possession. Great interchange of possessive football coming from the boys in green colors around the edge. Gambinos! And this time another opportunity, so close, but the goalkeeper just there in time. And the central referee has already pointed for a corner. That was definitely timely. Timely interception coming from the central defenders of Sibanor United. That was definitely very close.
Well, the moment Omar Nyasi, the number 13, has been a very instrumental at the defense line there. The moment the ball passed him, it becomes a dangerous ball. A delivery, Sibanor heads. Yeah, the moment the ball passed him, it becomes a very dangerous ball, and they have to breathe again. You know, that was very close to the touching distance of restoring parity for Gambinos, but Sibanor remains solid.
Sibanor is still firm in trying to either protect the 1-0 advantage if they can't get the second. The team is currently on the advantage, leading by 1-0, and of course leading by 1-0 against Gambinos in the second semi-final of West Coast Region 3rd Division. Who is going to advance? Who is advancing to the final? And the winner of this final will play Kunkujang Friends in the final of this year's West Coast Region 3rd Division. And last year, it was Sibanor United who booked a place to the semi-final and played against Isohna. And in that contest, it ended 2-2 against Isohna before Sibanor United advancing on post-match shootout. And in the final, it ended Sibanor United 3, Balosar 3, and Balosar advanced on post-match shootout. And in the triangular, Balosar advanced to the triangular, and that's a yellow card. That's a yellow card for the goalkeeper Isaac Mendy. In the triangular, it ended Balosar 1, Young Africans 1, and Balosar crashed out before filing an appeal against Young Africans, and Balosar ended up getting to the second division of the GFF. Of course, the second division of Gambian football, and Balosar is currently playing in the second tier of Gambian football after advancing from the West Coast Region 3rd Division last season. Sibanor United crashed in the final when they lost to Balosar in the final of the West Coast 3rd Division after trailing 3-3 scoreline before Balosar advancing on post-match shootout against the Sibanor United under the guidance of head coach Ibrahima Kamara. Ibrahima is still the head coach. Ibrahima Kamara, under the guidance, was serving as the head coach for Sibanor United, and Sibanor United forward. This time never trouble the goalkeeper, but before that the flag is already up. And we have already played 29 or 30 minutes unofficial, according to our official timing in the second period of this contest between Sibanor and Gambinos. It is 30 minutes unofficial in the second period. 30 minutes unofficial, as the central referee and his officials are with the official timing. Kemo Kanyi, one might say time is definitely running out for Gambinos, but we might also say, of course, they have time to score. They can score and score again, but they also need to score first if they want to get something in this contest. And if they are able to score, probably they might force this game to a post-match shootout, which Sibanor United will definitely want to, or wouldn't want to concede if they want to advance to the final of this year's West Coast Region 3rd Division, just like they did last season against Balosar.
Yes, very well. 15 crucial minutes for either sides to go home with the victory, and I believe Sibanor is the team that is currently leading here, and then they will be hoping to go home with the victory, while the Berendin base, the Gambino Stars will also be hoping that they score within these 15 minutes before it ends here, while denying Sibanor from further scoring another goal into this particular contest. So that is the 15 minutes that we have here currently. Either sides must try to fight very well and then try to go home with the victory, and then they will be hoping to do that. Currently Sibanor is having an advantage over the Gambino Stars side here, because they are the team that is currently leading by a lone goal to nil, and then with that, if they are able to keep this particular result, this particular scoreline rather, I should say, they will be going home with the victory. And then, so let's see what happens here. What are we going to witness in this final 14 minutes of play, whether Sibanor can stay onto this particular lead, or are we going to see Gambinos coming from behind and then do the needful for themselves.
Thank you very much, Kemo Kanyi. Once again, that's a timely interception coming in from Omar Nyase. Omar Nyase has been a workaholic in the defense line of Sibanor United right from the beginning. Gambinos now around the center of the pitch. Sibanor United having key of their players behind the ball. It's going to be another opportunity. The new entrant, of course, Sibanor United, Seni Nyase. Seni Nyase trying to unlock the defense, trying to go solo. And he's shot blocked in there by the central defenders of Gambinos now, who will solely try to benefit. And Gambinos, not for too long, lost possession, regained possession quickly. It's Gambino, Sibanor United heads. It's going to be an opportunity, Sibanor, whilst Gambinos will use the left side of the defense in trying to penetrate. Great interchange of possessive football coming from the boys in green colors, Gambinos. And the final touch is definitely not a great one on the far side. Sibanor United will benefit, and it's going to be a throw-in. On the right back, Sananyasi will deliver. And Sibanor wouldn't be in any hurry, as the team is currently enjoying the 1-0 advantage, courtesy of centre forward Bakari Kujabi. Kujabi Bakari scored the only goal, and his goal is the current difference. At the Box Bar Mini Stadium in Brikama, of course, it's a huge turnout. A great turnout in the second semi-final between Sibanor and Gambinos. Earlier on, we had the first semi-final between Kunkujang Friends and Misira United. That ended 0-0 in regulation before Kunkujang Friends advancing to the final on a post-match shootout. It's going to be Samura to chase on the far side. Gambinos to benefit from a decent one. And the central defender once again just there in time, Omar Nyase. Omar Nyase once again with a clearance. Timely interception, Nyase Omar. And the central defender for Sibanor United has been the most impressive player in the heart of defense for Sibanor United, Omar Nyasi. And in case you're just joining us, this is just the second semi-final. It is the second semi-final and the second half of the second semi-final between Sibanor United and Gambinos of West Coast Region 3rd Division. It's a strong corner. Gambinos now. It's another opportunity on the far side. It's going to be Gambinos now, who switched that ball around the 18-yard. And Francis Gomez this time serving as a defensive player. Francis Gomez has dropped deep to get some defensive options for Sibanor United, as the Sibanor United side is currently enjoying the 1-0 advantage. Gambinos now will try to regroup. Gambinos 0, Sibanor 1. From the Box Bar Mini Stadium in Brikama. It's another header. Barry heads. Gambinos. This time it's going to be another opportunity. Francis Gomez. And the flag of the assistant referee is already up. And of course, a furious technical area for Sibanor United. They believe that shouldn't have been an offside. But the flag of the assistant referee is already up. Against Sibanor United, Gambinos now, Samura. Samura, another tricky and pacey player. And Sumana Samura is the player in question, number 10 for Gambinos. And Gambinos in this contest started with Buba Samba in goal for Gambinos. Omar Bojang, Cherno Bari, Osman Sanyang, Jibi Conte, Keba Kamara, Bubakar Sila, Musa Njai, Aliu Sonko, and Sumana Samura. And into the gloves of the custodian. And Sumana Samura and Mohamed Krubali starting or completing the 11 for Gambinos now. Samura dribble pass one, and the ball has been blocked to touch. Sibanor United will benefit, and Sibanor will use the opportunity to regroup, whilst Gambinos will use the opportunity to deliver. It's going to be a throw in. Ismail Ajaju, who came on as a substitute for Gambinos FC, will deliver that throw in on the far side. Quickly taken. Gambinos trail by a goal to nil against Sibanor at the Box Bar Mini Stadium. It's going to be another chase for Sibanor United, the only goal scorer, trying to control that ball forward. The goalkeeper just there in time, caught that ball out for Gambinos. Great control. Squares that ball on the far side. The new entrant Nyase. Can he get something now? Popped away by the goalkeeper partly, and known the solid defensive work coming from Gambinos Football Club. Of course, Sibanor United had all the opportunities to get the second goal, but unfortunately Gambinos just there, resolute at the back in trying to nullify all the dangers being posed by Sibanor United.
But a very good defensive work by, of course, the number 11, that is Modu Saidi, who cooks everything inside his box, and he have to deliver around the center circle. Of course, a gaucho of it torn there, and then he have to dispatch the ball from distance to the number 7, that is Seni Nyasi, who was of course going forward. But this is a replica of Sibanor, the way they play.
Sibanor United once again floats that ball, caught out by the central defender. Another opportunity, and already is an infringement as signaled by the central referee. The referee of this crucial game is Modlamin Kejata. Musa Baji is one of the assistants. Buba Sise, Aliu Kamara, the 4th assistant referee. Hamadi Janko is serving as the 4th assistant referee. Time definitely running out for Gambinos, as we have already played 37 minutes unofficial. 37 minutes unofficial on our clock at the Box Bar Mini Stadium, as the central referee and his officials are with the official timing. 31 minutes unofficial at the Box Bar Mini Stadium in the second half between Gambinos and Sibanor United. Gambinos trail 1-0 against the travelling boys of Sibanor United, being under the guidance of head coach Ibrahim Kamara. On the dugout for Gambinos is Yanko Batiba. Gambinos floats that ball, caught out partly. Is that a handball? Play on, says the central referee. This time around, a decent delivery. Caught out by Sibanor United. Gambinos around the area. Samura now trying to dribble past a group of players. Samura lost possession, and Sibanor clears that ball from their own half. It's another opportunity for Gambinos to break once again. Gambinos trying to cause some problems for Sibanor United around the area. Already the flag is up against Gambinos, and Sibanor will have the opportunity. Lively contest, great atmosphere from the Box Bar Mini Stadium, of course, in the second semi-final of the West Coast Region 3rd Division. It is the second semi-final, and between Gambinos and Sibanor United at the theatre. Box Bar Mini Stadium in Brikama, to be precise. It's going to be an opportunity. The new entrant Sibanor United, Seni Nyasi. Seni Nyasi trying to go solo, trying to dribble past a group of players. Seni Nyasi into the gloves of the custodian once again, Buba Samba. Seni Nyasi has been a great player right from the beginning of his entrance, and it's Sibanor United who will surely try to search once again for the second goal, but any moment from now it's going to be an opportunity for Gambinos to deliver another substitution. Who is coming in and who is going off? The player being prepared to be introduced for Gambinos is Modlamin Samura. Modlamin Samura is the player coming in, and he is replacing the number 11 Aliu Sonko. Kemo Kanye, it is definitely a lively contest, but time is definitely not on the side for Gambinos, who need to score to possibly get this game to parity if they possibly want to have the chance to advance to the final. While Sibanor United still seems to be very much resolute defensively, as they will surely try to protect this 1-0 advantage if they can get the second goal.
Yes, Gambinos are currently have 5 more minutes plus the additional time that will be added here for them to at least score a goal into this contest, while Sibanor will be hoping that they keep playing the way they are playing and then continue defending against this Gambino side. So they will be announced the winners of this particular encounter. So, but let's see what happens here. 5 minutes and on the order and the additional time in football. 5 minutes is a lot of time to be played. So anything can happen within that 5 minutes. But Sibanor, they knows what time is currently, and then they will be hoping that they defend. They will be hoping that they defend the rest of the 5 minutes that they have here to go home with the victory and then playing the final with Kunkujang friends and eventually pushing their way to the second division next season. So, but let's see. It's until and unless they are able to defend against this particular side and then continue to play the way they are playing for them to go home with the victory. So let's see what happens here in this final 4 minutes plus the additional time that will be added into this particular game.
Thank you very much, Kemo Kanyi, and it is definitely a lively moment. Lively final moments at the Box Bar Mini Stadium in Brikama in the game between Sibanor United and Gambinos. Time definitely running out for Gambinos. Sibanor United leading by a goal to nil around the edge of the 18 now. This is Samura! Flashes in a decent delivery, but never trouble the custodian Isaac Mendy.
Very dangerous. He came and he had a chit chat with the coach before coming in, and I believe the mission is to restore parity, but that was a very good try from Samura. The goalkeeper stretched, that is Isaac, but couldn't have a touch to it. But it's a goal kick, a relief. Sibanor United, they need to be very careful because this 1-0 scoreline sometimes it always put you in a very funny situation, and you will be sitting on the edge of that seat watching this game. Perfectly.
It is already a lively contest. It has been lively contest. 41 minutes on our clock, unofficial. 41 minutes in the second period. Samura now trying to twist and turn, and he has been an incredible player. Solid defensive work coming from Sibanor United. Samura has been a fantastic player for Gambinos Football Club right from the beginning. It's a throw in. Gambinos will now have the opportunity once again. Chernobari will deliver, getting that ball short to the new entrant once again, Samura. This is Modlamin Samura, who came on as a substitute. Ball being taken forward. A glancing header around the edge of the 18. Gambinos now keeps that ball forward. Solid defensive work coming from Sibanor United. Definitely, Sibanor United needs to be very much careful.
That's a timely defense from Seni Nyasi again. But they have created more opportunities than, of course, Sibanor in this second half. If they had to turn their corners into goals, they could have been, of course, running riot in this game. But then, still now, Sibanor remains solid. But they need to be very careful. The substitution is really working well for Gambino Stars Africa in this game, in the second half. And it's Chernobari again.
It is Chernobari to deliver. Clearance coming from Sibanor United, and any moment from now we're going to see another substitution coming from Sibanor United. Francis Gomez. Francis trying to go solo, trying to dribble pass. This time around, not a great control coming from the new entrant Seni. And Seni Nyasi's control isn't a great one as his touch went into the gloves of the custodian, and the goalkeeper is Buba Samba, Sibanor United. On the far side, you could hear the claps coming from the supporters of Sibanor, playing that ball short to the author of the only goal scored, but he could not just have the touch.
Yes, you look at the way Sibanor play, don't expect them to give you the tiki-taka of a football in this game. Only thing that they need to, they have to send, from one end to the other, they have to switch position. And now, the goal scorer, Bakari Kujabi, is being subbed off. They're complaining, but of course the coach have the final say, and the number 9 is coming in. Pafati, that is ML Kamara, Modlamin Kamara.
Modlamin Kamara is the new entrant. And you could hear the claps coming from the faithfuls and the supporters of Sibanor United.
Right now, he's the most important man in Fonyi Bintankaranai. He scored the only goal in this contest. He's the one that, of course, Sibanor are still breathing fresh air.
Bakari Kujabi, who scored the only goal, and his goal is the current difference. Kemo Kanyi time is definitely running out, and Sibanor United just need to hold on here if they want to advance to the final once again.
Yes, what a risk-taking goalkeeper for the Gambino Stars side. So Sibanor currently, I mean, they have only 1 minute here that they need, plus the additional time to go home with the victory. And I believe the technical bench is very much aware of that. This is one of the reasons he has introduced one press rec that will be doing the running up front, so that they will be able to keep so many of their men behind the ball while they continue to play against this particular game. So let's see what happens here, whether they will be able to keep the clean sheet into this particular game, and then with that they will be going home with the victory part.
4 minutes added on. 4 minutes of additional time. 4 minutes for Gambinos to restore parity, or else Sibanor United will advance once again to the final of West Coast Region 3rd Division. But currently it's a set piece at a great position, Saliu.
Absolutely. Yellow card to Abdullah Tamba of Sibanor. But then this is a moment where you will have a community meeting. You look at that that position right now. Probably is going to be given to the number 10. That is Ansumana Samar, who has been struggling in the second half to, of course, feel himself. But then if Sibanor are to cross the hurdle, this is a moment where they need to defend everything. And they defend with their souls. They defend with their hearts and minds. But over to Isaac to, of course, present us a very solid and a concrete wall that might be the Berlin Wall for Sibanor United in the quest of reaching the final in this competition. But it's a free kick that can also restore parity, that can also catapult this competition or this semi-final to the lottery. But let's wait and see, Pa.
It is Gambinos, and of course a huge responsibility. Gambinos currently having 3 of its players behind the ball. And currently, the team captain Usman Sanyang is going to deliver. This time around! What a strike and what a goal for Gambinos! Drama at the Box Bar Mini Stadium. Drama at the Box Bar Mini Stadium in Brikama. What a strike, what a goal, and what an equalizer coming from Gambinos into the final moments of this crucial game. Samura found the back of the net to level matters. Of course, level matters in this contest. Sibanor 1, Gambinos 1, Saliu Jalo.
I told you, this is a moment where he can, of course, put things in order. And he did put things in order. And this is a moment that this game might be catapulted to the lottery. Sibanor have everything in take, and he is Samura again, the goal scorer.
It is Samura once again into the final moments. This time around, trying to dribble past his marker, and already that's a goal.
Yeah, I was coming to that. You see, now Isaac marries the ground, that is the goalkeeper. But then 4 minutes added, 3 minutes to go. They have to concede a set piece outside the box, and of course they conceded a goal from that set piece. Ansumana Samura, well, 90 minutes for new. Well, Sibanor were 1 foot into the final of this competition, and in 90 plus 1 minute they restored party, that is Gambinos, and this is part of their project. If they are to lose this semi-final, that is Gambinos, they have to look at themselves. They have to go back to the drawing board and they see if the project is alive and well. That is, of course, Gambinos. But it's about time Sibanor maintain that scoreline, and if they are to go into the lottery to get something out of it. But Gambinos are always good when it comes to penalty shootouts. But it's now Abdullah or Habib Jaju is getting ready. He scored the winning goal for Bunyadu in the district league final against Sewell. He had done the number 14 jersey now, but then it is just difficult to watch, difficult to check for Sibanor.
What a moment, what an atmosphere, what a moment at the Box Bar Mini Stadium. Kemo Kanye into the final moments. Gambinos back on level terms, and it is game on at the Box Bar.
Yes, this was what I was saying. There is no little time in football. So long the game continues to play, there is every chance for the other team to as well score. So you can see Samura Ansumana was fouled in the area, and then he takes the responsibility for his side, and then eventually putting the free kick into the back of the net to put his team on a level time here. So currently we have exhausted the number of minutes that have been added here. So, but let's see, the free kick has also taken a little time. So perhaps the center referee will add another minute here, and then the game perhaps will be. You see, the game is now heading to the post-match shootout here, Pa.
What a moment, and it ended at the Box Bar Mini Stadium, 1-1. Gambinos 1, Sibanor 1 is the final score. It is over at the Box Bar Mini Stadium. Are we heading to post-match shootout? Yes. The answer is yes, we are heading to post-match shootout, and it's going to be decided on post-match shootout between Sibanor United and Gambinos Football Club. Sibanor United conceded late and conceded very late, and Gambinos must be very much pleased here. Gambinos must be very much happy here, Kemo Kanye, after pulling or getting a late equalizer against Sibanor United at the Box Bar Mini Stadium, and it is game on. It is now post-match shootout to decide the winner between Gambinos and Sibanor United. Who is going to advance remains to be seen. Sibanor dressed in their colorful blue shirts, black shorts and blue socks, whilst Gambinos in all green. Green shirts, green shorts and green socks. Saliu Jallow, it is all over. And we are now heading to the post-match shootout.
Football is cruel. Football is absolutely cruel. They had their nose in front. Or their noses in front, but where it matters most is where Gambinos came from nowhere to restore parity, courtesy of that brilliant, well-taken set piece. But then a deflection also cost that goal, and it found Sibanor wanting. You know, one might say you could have allowed him to play, but then stopping him also, they will tell you have already stopped a goal. I didn't mean that set piece was blocked. But then football is always cruel, whether you take it or you leave it. And heading into the lottery, you know, this is a point where Sibanor struggled last year. But this is a point where, of course, but not in the semis rather, they crossed to the final and they lost to Balosar. But the coach still remain optimistic. But the moment they consider a goal, everything changed, the mood changed, and they have to sit back again and recheck things. And it's more of like Gambinos connected dots. Hadn't been that we have the extra 5 minutes to play, it could have been a different story for Sibanor, but it is over to the 6-yard box between Sibanor and Gambinos.
It is now post-match shootout to decide the winner between Sibanor United and, of course, Gambinos. Lamin Mane, we will surely engage him shortly after having the time to watch this entire game. It ended Lamin Mane 1-1 between Sibanor and Gambinos, and we are now heading to post-match shootout to decide the winner. And last year, this is where Sibanor United advanced after having that 2-2 scoreline against Isohna before advancing to the semi-final where they, or the final where they play Balosar Football Club in the final. But once again, it's going to be another post-match shootout to decide the winner between Sibanor United and Gambinos this time around.
Thank you so very much, Pa. Thanks to all the listeners out there. As you just highly alluded here, it is a well-contested semi-final here between Sibanor and Gambinos, and credit to both teams because this is what we expect from this game. It is a semi-final before a final, and it has already been manifested between these two teams. Credits to them for coming here and entertaining the spectators in this beautiful game of football. Sibanor, they were just a foot away from the centering the final against Kunkujang Friends, who defeated Misira yesterday from the lottery 5-3 rather. And here we seen Sibanor going to the lotteries again against Gambinos and Academy side. There is one thing in this Gambinos side that is never give up, is something that is instilled in them, because we have seen they restore parity in the 90+1 minute to take the tie to penalty shootout. This is something that we all expect as far as this game is concerned. We expect it to be a well contested game, and it was not a push-over game for either side. They all did well to see that, it was a well-entertained semi-final. One thing for certain is either of these two teams will be meeting Kunkujang Friends, a side that really also did very well yesterday against Misira, a team that is in Bekama. They traveled all the way from Kunkujang and were able to defeat Misira 5-3 on penalty shootout. But this is really something that is really welcome as far as grassroots football is concerned.
Thank you very much, Lamin Mane, Aliron, Kemo Kanyi, and of course, Saliu Jalo. And this is all coming to you live from the Box Bar Mini Stadium in Brikama. And it is, of course, coming to you live on LSTV1 equally. And it is now post-match shootout to decide the winner between Sibanor United and Gambinos Football Club. Usman Sanyang, the team captain for Gambinos, will deliver the first penalty. And Sanyang, the captain, will face Isaac Mendy in goal for Sibanor United. It's going to be a clash between green and red. Isaac in red shorts, red shirt, black short and black socks, up against the team captain Usman Sanyang. Usman Sanyang 13, team captain Gambinos. Of course, from the Box Bar Mini Stadium, lively contest, lively scenes, great atmosphere. Sibanor United led in the first half before conceding late against Gambinos to get this game to post-match shootout. And it is now post-match shootout to decide the winner. It was post-match shootout that decided the winner yesterday, and once again this afternoon or evening, it's going to be post-match shootout to decide the winner between Sibanor United and Gambinos. It ended 0-0 between Kunkujang Friends and Misira before Kunkujang Friends advancing on post-match shootout, and 1-1 against Sibanor and Gambinos, and it is post-match shootout to decide. Usman Sanyang 13 against Isaac Mendy. Usman Sanyang team captain against Isaac Mendy. Sanyang Usman team captain Gambinos. Usman Sanyang. Usman! Beautifully executed, and Gambinos are currently leading by a goal to nil on post-match shootout, and it's going to be another opportunity for Francis Gomez to deliver the first penalty for Sibanor United. Kemokany.
Yes, I will take in penalty from the Gambinos United captain, and now it is the turn of Francis. He is also a key player for the Sibanor United side, and one of the most performing player for this particular game here. So let's see what Francis will also do into this particular contest. So these are he is now given the responsibility for to take his team to a leveler into the penalty shootout part.
Francis Gomez, the Hosen's new boy. Francis Gomez 10 up against the custodian Buba Samba. Francis Gomez, of course, the number 10 for Sibanor United. Of course, Francis Gomez of AC Horsens in Denmark. Currently playing for Sibanor United at the Box Bar Mini Stadium in the semi-final of the West Coast Region 3rd Division. Sibanor up, Francis up against the custodian Buba Samba. Francis Gomez. Francis into the bottom corner and beautifully executed. That was definitely a great execution coming from the number 10 Francis Gomez. Kemo Kanyi, beautifully executed coming from Francis Gomez, and it is 1-1 on post-match shootout.
Yes, two beautiful penalties from two takes here. I mean, we have seen earlier on it was Gambinos and then Sibanor. These are two very good penalties. So let's see which of the teams here will be able to qualify themselves to the final. But I mean, you can see yesterday as well, it was a nil scoreline, and then it was decided on the post-match shootout. And here as well, a 1-0 scoreline, and then a penalty shootout will decide the winner.
It is Gambinos now. Gambinos! Over the crossbar! What a moment at the Box Bar Mini Stadium! What an atmosphere! Of course, on post-match shootout. It is on post-match shootout to decide the winner. Who is going to win it? Who is winning it? Is it Sibanor or Gambinos? Remains to be seen. But currently Sibanor United will also have the opportunity to have Usenu Sanyang, who came on as a substitute, to deliver this. But already Gambinos has already squandered the second penalty.
Yes, an opportunity here for Sibanor to take the lead into this shootout already. I mean, Gambinos have lost their second kick, and then Sibanor is now taking their second kick into this particular game. An advantage for them to take the lead.
Usenu Sanyang Sanyang Usenu came on as a substitute. Up against the custodian Buba Samba. Will he be able to score and possibly have the chance for Sibanor United to advance? And the number 2 is currently on the ball, Usenu Sanyang. Usenu Sanyang against Buba Samba. Usenu Sanyang came on as a substitute. Usenu! Beautifully executed, and Sibanor United got the second goal, and it is currently 2-1 in favor of Sibanor United against Gambinos, and Gambinos will now have the opportunity coming from the number 20. The number 20 for Gambinos, Abubakar Silla, will now get the third penalty for Gambinos. Kemo Kani lively, Sibanor United on the advantage currently.
Yes, very well. After Gambinos United have failed to score their their second take, so now they are now taking the touch. Gambinos.
It is Gambinos now. Abubakar Silla up against Isaac Mendy. Abubakar Silla 20 against Isaac Mendy. Abubakar Silla, will he be able to score? Silla Abubakar sending the goalkeeper the wrong way, beautifully executed, and it's going to be an opportunity, of course, an opportunity Sibanor United to deliver the next penalty. Sibanor United up against Gambinos, and Gambinos has already squandered the second penalty. Sibanor United will now rely on the team captain. Of course, the team captain for Sibanor is Landing Jaju.
Yes, very well. 2 goals, 2 successful penalties for Gambinos out of 3, while Sibanor registered both penalties that they have taken, and their captain is now taking the third kick for them. So let's see what he will be able to do for his side about this particular penalty.
Team captain Landing Jaju. Landing Jaju 5 for Sibanor United. Sibanor United's team captain, central defender Landing, will have the opportunity to face Buba Samba in goal for Gambinos. Landing Jaju. Landing is 5. Sibanor United, team captain up against the custodian Buba Samba. Will he be able to score? Will he be able to score? Will he be able to score? The team captain up against the custodian Buba Samba of Gambinos Football Club. Landing is the central defender and team captain. Landing Jaju. Landing Jaju. Landing into the bottom corner. And Sibanor celebrates and celebrates in style. And the team is getting closer, closer and closer. Kemo Kanyi, beautifully executed. We have seen incredible penalties coming from both Sibanor and Gambinos. And already Sibanor on the advantage. It is now the opportunity for Gambinos to have the opportunity, courtesy of Musa Njai this time.
Yes, very well. I mean, Sibanor have scored 3 out of 3, while Gambinos have scored 2 out of the 3 takes that they have taken. So Gambinos is now going for their 4th kick, and then they will be hoping that that particular player registers for them. So let's see what he will be able to do for his side.
Musa Njai up against the custodian Isaac Mendy. Musa Njai 5. Musa Njai. Musa! Saved by Isaac Mendy! Sibanor getting closer, closer and closer. Kemo Kanye, seemingly that's going to be a score win for Sibanor United. Musa Njai wasting that second spot kick for Gambinos, and Sibanor United will now have the opportunity. And it is now the turn of Sibanor United, and Sananyasi is given the huge responsibility.
Yes, very well. A score win for them, Sibanor United, and then one of their right fullbacks is now been given the responsibility, and then he knows the importance of his take for his side. So let's see what he'll be able to do, Nyasi.
It is Sana Nyasi given the huge responsibility up against Buba Samba. Sana Nyasi. Sana Nyasi 3. Will he be able to score? Sana Nyasi. Sana! And Sibanor United into the final. Sibanor United advance, and Sananyasi beautifully executed. Sibanor United defeated Gambinos on post-match shootout to book a place to the final once again after being there last season. Of course, it has been a great moment from the Box Bar Mini Stadium. Mike is of course full time at the Box Bar Mini Stadium in the West Coast Region 3rd Division. Of course, semi-final between Sibanor United and Gambinos, and it ended 1-1 in regulation before Sibanor United advancing on post-match shootout. It has been a great game. Ibrahima, first tell us your reaction as far as your general assessment of this contest.
Yeah, Alhamdulillah that we've won the game, and that's the target, to win to go to the final. It was a difficult game, yes, but we could have made the game easy, as we created a lot of easy chances to score, but we didn't capitalize on it. So there you go. They scored on a deflection, and the game was on penalties again.
How have you prepared for Gambinos? Because we all know Gambinos is a side that possesses that ball so well. Are you putting at the back of your mind that when we come to the Box Bar Mini Stadium, we'll definitely be at a very comfortable ground? Of course, Gambinos having a ground that they normally train on daily basis. How have you planned for this Gambinos game?
Yeah, I told previously on interviews that we have quality more than Gambinos. So training on the artificial top did not carry us away. You can see in the first half our game plan is to be on them, and we get on them, and we could have scored more goals. So when we score, we start back, we want to hit them on counter, and which worked perfectly for us. We created a lot of chances, and we could not barrier in the second half to take the game beyond Gambinos, and now they pull a goal back, and we equally prepared for penalties, and now we are done with the penalty shootout again.
What was definitely ringing in your mind? Because how comfortable were you heading to post-match shootout against Gambinos?
I was definitely comfortable, because I know I prepared the 8 penalty kicks that all of them would score. Yeah, so that alone is enough to win.
Advanced to the final. Last year you were in the final, played against Balo Sar. You led and restored parity, and then end up defeating you on post-match shootout. How prepared are you once again heading to this final once again?
I am very, very much prepared this time around. Come Saturday, and you'll see a very different team that has played against Balosar. And if we lead 2-0, it's not going to be possible that we concede those 2 goals again.
After the final, are you also preparing for the triangular?
Very well, very well. For this year, we are definitely prepared for it, because all our test games we are playing with first division teams. That is to better prepare us for the playoffs. Yeah.
What is definitely the target for Sibanor United this season?
That is to qualify for the second division is the target.
So apart from qualification to the second division, one might say it is a total failure.
Yeah, it would be a failure for us, yes, definitely.
Thank you very much. Congratulations. Thank you very much for speaking on. Thank you very much. Thank you. And of course it is full time, and already we have spoken to head coach Ibrahima Kamara, and now we will have Francis Gomez. We call him the Hosen's new boy, right? Francis, congratulations, and of course it's another victory for Sibanor United, and you're also heading to your second successive final. How prepared are you for the final?
Yeah, we are very prepared as a team. Yeah, and we are also a family, so we are very prepared, and hopefully I'm very sure that we will win the final.
Francis, of course, at some point you were in Housens, Denmark, and then back again playing for Sibanor United. How is the atmosphere playing in Denmark and also in the Gambia?
Yeah, it's a huge difference. There is a huge difference. It's not the same. Yeah, playing there is always good, and the weather is always cool. Yeah, there's always a difference, and the pitch also is a big difference.
Can we say you struggled playing back when you came from Denmark to come and play back in the Gambia? Possibly one might say you must have struggled playing on most of the pitches, most especially on local grounds.
Yeah, no, I don't struggle that much because I started playing the local ground before going. So it is okay. Sometimes you have a bad game or a misunderstanding about the game, but it's always okay.
Many were expecting that Francis will score in this contest, but unfortunately you never scored. Are you disappointed not having any goal in this semi-final?
No, I'm not disappointed. Yeah, I'm not disappointed because we all played well. So we played as a team, scored as a team. So I'm not very disappointed because we have games to go. I can score in a crucial game. I can score in the final. So I'm not disappointed. It's football.
Last year you played the final, you lost the final to Balosar, and this time around you're going to play the final against Kunkujang Friends. How will you be prepared going into that Kunkujang Friends game?
Yeah, we are very, very, very prepared because they won us in the group stage. Yeah, that game I was not around. Yeah. But I hope my colleagues, they are very prepared and they are ready for these tasks.
So can we say Francis was not in that game and this time around Francis is going to be in the game?
Yeah, I'm going to be in the game. I'm sure that I will deliver a top performance.
Thank you very much for speaking to us. Thank you, Fra. Thank you very much. That is Francis Gomez of Sibanor United. Thank you very much for speaking to us. And this is where we're going to draw the curtain. It has been Parliament Fatia, the commentary cabin for LSTV1. Saliu Jallo, Kemo Kanyi, behind camera operations is Osman Kamara. Until then, bye-bye from the Box Bar Mini Stadium till we come your way again.